Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Click R3 number 38. It's the predictions episode. Now, we were trying to remember what our predictions were from last time, and Ryan was like feverishly trying to go back through it here and then listen to this stuff. So I think we got it worked out, though. I think we're good. But I do have some predictions, as do you, I'm sure, Ryan. So we'll discuss some of those. It'll be a lot of fun. And then just some random catch up on I guess some PlayStation stuff. But it is our first episode of the new year, 2026. How you feeling about a brand new year in front of you right now, Ryan?
Oh God, John. I don't know how much longer we're gonna make it.
How you feeling coming out of how you feeling coming out of 2025 with that platinum video all done? And
oh yeah, I haven't spoken to you since that happened. Yeah. 30 Platinums Part 4. It's out there. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
People seem to get a kick out of it. Did well.
Yeah. I always try and ramp up the production quality and the skits, and I always try to make it a little bit better each time. Which means now a Part 5 is insurmountable, so don't expect it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how you keep going with this. Eventually, I mean, it's not like you're run out of. I guess every year there's more platinums to be had, but I mean, scheduling that whole thing. People don't see the behind the scenes. It's tough. Ryan has a hard time getting it all to come together at the end.
Dude, this one was a nightmare. It was ridiculous.
But you got the Mind's Eye Platinum. All is right in the world.
See, Mind's Eye Platinum done. It was fascinating editing that again to because I did the challenge in October. Didn't really get to that footage till I want to say mid-November. And so I think early December I finally got to the footage. Then I relived the whole game again watching it. And I'm like, man. Oh yeah. I got more mad at this game than I remember.
You have an entire recording of the whole playthrough of that game.
Yes. So that's what I can also say is that there's a collection of 15 or so games out of the whole 30 that are going to get their own video. So Mind's Eye you'll get a full Mind's Eye platinum.
That's funny.
Video. So you'll see more of what I really felt about that game.
That's actually good though. You get all that footage. You can make dedicated videos. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That's good stuff. Yeah, Mind's Eye. It was a game. That did happen.
It was a video game.
Yes. So how did you want to handle our predictions episode, Ryan? Did you want to go back to the ones we did previously? Did you want to just start making predictions? How do you want to do this?
Right. So that's the thing. That was episode 14, where because Click R3 was a new baby show. Now the show's old enough to where it can drink on its own. Yep. So if it gets ID'd at a bar, it's okay. But we're old enough now. So this is the second year we're doing predictions, which means we now have to grade ourselves from last year to see how well we did. We gave 5 predictions each, John. Do you remember your predictions? I'll ask you that.
I remember at least 2 of them. I'm trying to remember because one of them was a sales figure. And I was like, I don't remember. I have no idea what that sales figure was. We tried to figure out what the numbers were for the PS5 at the end of the year. I have no idea what that number was.
Did we do sales? So just to clarify, I kind of forgot that we were doing this tonight. And so I had to rewatch what John said at 2 times speed on Click R3. So
my nice little predictions all set up here and everything. I'm like, yeah, predictions episode tonight. Ryan rolls in and is like, oh yes, the predictions episode.
No, wait. But you were saying sales numbers. And I'm like, well, I literally just heard us and sales figures didn't come up. Unless I missed that.
I thought we threw something around. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I have a sales number here, but for this time, if you want to give that. But I know one was a game going to the Switch. And I think I said Horizon, or just another platform. Turns out, I think you were right because you mentioned Helldivers on another platform, then it went to Xbox.
No, I think that was just the Xbox news later down the road. The rumor. Let's nail these down one by one, John. Okay, one by one. Your first prediction was Fair Games struggles and the Horizon multiplayer game would be announced. Now, to grade this, Fair Games, I suppose, struggled in the sense that we had a report that the game internally isn't doing well. Okay, so it didn't come out.
But, did not come out.
Yeah.
Did not come out.
And shockingly, I don't think you were predicting the NCSoft multiplayer.
I left it open.
No. Because that's last 3-4 years, I'm like, where is this Horizon in-house multiplayer game? But the NCSoft one of all things got announced. So I think you might be able to take a 70-ish% W.
Okay.
On this one.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take half credit on that.
70-ish. I don't know if I'll give you the whole thing, but that was impressive.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that one.
Fair Games did indeed struggle, and we did get a Horizon multiplayer game announced.
The Fair Games one was pretty easy to figure out. I don't think that's that's not a great victory lap.
That's fair. That's fair. One of my predictions was a PlayStation Store redesign. This didn't happen. Moving on.
Well,
yeah, it didn't happen. And it's weird. Like, you remember, like, Sony redesigned the PS3 store 3 times.
Oh yeah,
PS4, yeah. PS4's UI got like a sort of soft redesign. It's principally the same, but the store and the console UI got a redesign. So they're just not touching any of these things for PS5. The way it looks is the way it looks. Your next one was that Sony would introduce the PC launcher. Didn't happen.
Well, that did not happen. No, we did not get that.
No,
man.
We got some like inklings of it, perhaps. You know, the whole like cross-buy tag. Is that
some of these predictions are going to be like a year off? I swear, we're going to get like oh man.
That's the thing. I feel like a lot of these are always, it's just like a timing thing. Sometimes you could be like actually pretty like dead on. And it's always just it's timing. So PC launcher didn't happen. My next one was there would be a state of play in May, gameplay for Marvel's Wolverine. Did we have a May state of play?
I mean, even so, we did see some gameplay for Wolverine because it was mixed in with the. So if it was in May, you would be correct.
No, because we got the Wolverine gameplay much. That was like that state of play was in June. It was early June. It was right outside of May. Remember that?
Couple of weeks out, man.
Yeah,
so close.
And it's coming back to me because everyone was like freaking out that it was like the end of May and Sony still didn't confirm a state of play.
Yeah, because it was kind of around that E3, not E3 time. So we were joking that Jeff would try to claim it as like his Summer Game Fest thing.
He kind of did. He did like the last 2-3 years, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got it figured out. He knows what he's doing.
Your next one was a PlayStation game would go to a platform not PlayStation and not PC.
I wasn't even thinking of Helldivers. I was thinking of something on Switch too, like a Horizon or something.
Yeah, you said like Zero Dawn.
Yeah, and then here comes Helldivers 2 on Xbox.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think you got this one too because you opened up that conversation. I just listened to you, and you opened it with like a PlayStation game goes to like a non-PlayStation or PC platform.
I'm going to be a bit more specific this year with some of the predictions. I have one that's like a big swing with how specific it is. Okay. So I have some that'll be a little more specific. All right. So it's not like as open-ended necessarily.
Okay. Well, you did get that one. What did I do after that? December State of Play reveals Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. No.
Oh, that was the hopeful, the wishful thinking there, man.
Yeah.
Trying to will it into existence.
Maybe this year.
I mean, they eventually got to do it soon because I say the generation's gonna start to wind down, but who knows? We could be going a while. But I feel like they want to get it all in this generation so they can do another release of the whole trilogy again on the PS6. So they got to get it all out before the PS6.
Well, for now, I feel like that's a timing one. I feel like that's not far away.
I could see even worst case, even Game Awards 2026. That's basically a 2027 reveal almost. It's like the last month of 2026. So even that wouldn't shock me.
Your next one, you nailed it. Housemarque will announce their next project.
Ah, yeah, there it is. All right,
Saros, yeah,
and it's soon too. It's a month later than we thought. It's soon. So that's yeah, that was a good one. I'll take it.
And you know what? I wasn't entirely convinced when you said that. I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's like.
You didn't want to get your hopes up. That's why you didn't want to be disappointed.
That's true. It's true. I temper expectations around here, John. That's what I'm disappointed.
But you're happy that prediction came true because you're hyped for Saros.
Very, yeah.
In a few months.
That is my most excited game for this year so far. My next prediction was a God of War PS2 and PSP collection, a new one, and I had put in parentheses no Ascension. So they just don't even touch that one.
Yeah, never heard of it. No.
If this happens, I'm still convinced that's what it looks like, but this didn't happen.
Could have used it. That would have been. I'd have been all over that collection. I'd have bought that day one.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Do you think there would have been one platinum for that? Like just outright, just one platinum for the whole thing?
Oh, here's the thing, John, because this gets into a policy change that Sony had on PlayStation 5. If they ship a disc-based game as one executable, it's only allowed one platinum, unless they do it to where you launch the game, it's one icon on PS5's home screen, then you have to tab into the game hub and do separate installs, which then turn into separate executables, which give them separate platinums.
How would you feel about it? Would you rather have one platinum for the whole thing?
Absolutely. One platinum for 4 games?
Yeah. You got to be dedicated, man. You got to be dedicated.
You on that reefer? No. I mean, they did a single platinum for the Legacy Collection of Thieves between Uncharted 4 and so it's like their own policy, which is stupid. So I would almost think that they'd buff that. Didn't happen though. Your final prediction was Gran Turismo 7 is ported to PC.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen. And it sounds like it's not going to happen the way they keep talking about it. So
I'm convinced like it'll happen with just the next mainline entry. Like they're just kind of like whatever. Like 7's just all console for now, at least. My next one was PS3 and Vita stores were closed down for good. I didn't want to be right about that, by the way. I'm glad I'm wrong. But I was definitely a little nervous because as the longer we go with these stores still working,
they're barely working though. They are like holding together with like duct tape and like rubber bands right now.
Unless somebody wants to give me partial 0.01 credit for the Bulgaria store going down.
Oh yeah, I think you get. Yeah, that's true. It did go down in a region. Like they actually shut it down.
Yeah, because of
get a couple points, right? Something.
An extreme outlier.
Yeah,
doesn't normally happen. Yeah,
technicality.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are our predictions. You did pretty good.
I'll take it. Well. I'll take it. It's not bad. I'll take it. This year might be. I'm taking some swings this year. So if I get any of these right, I need some extra credit or something.
All right, not bad. I gotta. Okay, so now I'm just gonna write yours down this time, and then future Ryan's gonna be happy that I can just look up text versions of your predictions.
Let me sort these. We get 5. You said right.
5 each, 10 total.
Okay. Let me see. How do I want to sort these? I have more than 5, so I need to sort these. I gotta pick the.
Oh, send them over. Maybe I'll steal
one. One is Fair Games again.
This was already in my separate predictions upload. I'll just share it here.
Yeah.
So I was 50-50. I literally on my like notepad on my phone where I was writing my predictions down. I initially typed Fair Games canceled, Haven shut down. I backspaced and I said launches in an alpha. Like a playable.
Wow. Okay.
They don't launch it. Yeah, they don't like sell it to you or nothing, but like they actually do get a playable build out there this year.
Wow. Okay.
That's a swing because that's the big.
That one is a swing. What
do you think? What is your Fair Games prediction?
It's just not coming out this year. It's not coming out. My prediction was going to be they don't even mention it this year. It does not come out. They don't say anything about it. It never even crosses their mind. It's never in a state of play. Nothing. Basically, we'll be in a year from now to start 2027. We'll be all making the same exact prediction of will Fair Games come out this year.
Wait, do you don't think there will be like any reports or nothing? Like no.
Okay, maybe there could be a report. I feel like Sony you're not going to see it as state of play. They're not going to show up and say anything about it unless they absolutely have to. And by absolutely have to, I mean they get pressed by a media outlet or something, and they have that spokesperson response. That was one of my things. It's just completely ghost 2026 for Fair Games.
Okay, all right. I feel you. That's John's first prediction.
Oh, that's not my prediction. I was just throwing it out there. I got some good ones here.
So this is not included in your predictions?
No. That's a freebie. That's a free space for people.
Oh, you only said like 8 times that's a prediction.
That's too easy. That's free space. Hey, Fair Game's going to be bad or it's not going to show up. Yeah.
Hold on, but I'm boldly saying it's going to release and you'll be able to play it. John, we're playing fair games this year.
Okay, you're going the opposite direction. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll say it's Ghosted then if you're going to say you're playing it. So we actually have, it's the same kind of prediction, but it's separate sides of it. That actually works out.
Well, that was in my separate upload though. This isn't going on my list for Click R3. Yeah.
No, scratch that one. Scratch that one.
I got okay. Scratch. Okay, so now John has no prediction so far.
All right. I'll start with this one. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
GTA 6 does come out this year, and Sony has an entire state of play for it.
Okay.
They have a state of play. They align the marketing. It's all there. They have an actual state of play presentation for GTA 6.
Okay. That's it. Just a state of play.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do a bundle or anything, but I think they'll have a state of play.
Are you locking that in?
Yeah, they'll do a state of play with Rockstar and Take-Two for GTA 6.
Good. I think you're gonna be wrong about that.
Oh man.
With Rockstar, they don't do that shit. Like they do
That's true.
They do their own gameplay walkthroughs on their channel. You're gonna have somebody like voicing it over, like Jason can do anything.
Yeah.
Go to Miami. He can go, you know what I'm saying? Like they do that stuff on their terms. So I think you just locked in a wrong one.
Interesting.
We'll see though.
Interesting.
We'll see. I got a GTA 6 production.
Okay, let's hear it.
Game's gonna come out on time. Sony will have marketing rights, but that's where it ends. They'll do trailers and things like that. No bundle. Okay. Crucially, no GTA 6 online. That'll be pushing next year.
So what if they do? So you say no bundle at all. So what if they do a PS5 that comes with a shark card for GTA 6 online?
That's interesting. I don't think there will be like tie-ins right away.
Okay.
I think you're going to see marketing rights. I think if anything, you'll see retailer bundles. Maybe
I can see that.
Yeah, maybe retailer bundles, but I don't think PlayStation will get that sort of alignment right away. They might have it like shortly after, but I don't know about like launch.
Okay.
You know? Okay. Game's 80, by the way.
Is 80, but yeah, I mean, I figured that makes sense. $80. Yeah. You think that includes single player and multiplayer combined? Yeah. It's the whole thing. Okay.
Yep.
Probably some crazy special edition lockbox or something that's like $200.
They just do another lockbox.
But like something like that. Like they'll do some crazy special edition probably too, right? Like some stupid amount.
What did they offer for Red Dead? Like what kind of crazy edition?
What was the Red Dead Redemption? I mean, I didn't get the special edition, so I feel like I would remember it better if I got the special edition. Collector's box. Does that sound right? Collector's box. Let me see. I wonder if it tells me what the price was for it. What was the special edition? Don't know. Oh no, that might have come later.
Really?
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I just always remember the Grand Theft Auto ones, like these like crazy, like you said, lockbox or stuff. They do some fun stuff with it.
I've still got my lockbox.
Yeah. All right. I'm going with Horizon 3. Horizon 3 officially gets revealed in 2026.
Wow. Horizon 3 gets revealed.
Official reveal. Not release, but reveal. And I think it's like towards the end of the year.
Ooh.
And they're ready to wrap up that trilogy.
And you're locking it in?
Yes.
Oh, I think I might get you this year.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's happening.
But
then again, I've been really bad with my predictions the last few years. So who knows? That's actually perfect because that will coincide with one of mine.
Okay.
Because that's like Guerrilla's next game has to be the in-house multiplayer one. Like it has to be. I think that does get revealed this year. You can't play it or anything.
Okay, they just show it. They like show it exists.
I think you show it, but like it's going to be really weird for them to navigate that versus the Steel Frontiers thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Steel Frontiers kind of goes MIA and you don't hear about it for like the entire year, but you'll get like a proper reveal of this thing.
Okay.
The Horizon, and it's got. I would think it looks very different. It's not going to be hyper realistic looking. It will be.
I think it's Fortnite-y.
Yeah, and that's where like it'll be like a complete flip of the script of like I would imagine it's going to get some pushback.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
I mean, the cell phone looks better.
Yeah, the phone version looks a lot better. So I'm going to roll with that.
You think that because of that art style, do you think that Horizon multiplayer game is on a platform that's not PlayStation?
I think it's PS5 PC.
Okay, PS5 PC. You don't think they do anything weird, like where a Switch 2 logo or an Xbox logo pops up?
I mean, I would definitely humor a Switch one. I would humor it.
Okay.
I think the Xbox One happens if like the game, and I don't think this is happening, but I think that does happen if the game ships and finds an audience. If it's not Helldivers 2, it doesn't go to Xbox, I think.
I could see that. Yeah, it has to be like, it has to blow up and be this big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I will throw this because I didn't have to make this last year. I'll make it this year. The PS3 and Vita stores does shut down this year.
You're stealing it.
I'm taking it. Hey, I didn't make it last year. We can't repeat our predictions. I'm taking it this year. I'm rolling the dice on 2026 is the year.
2026. Oh man.
I'm saying both of them. So it's not just like one of the other. I'm saying they both get shut down.
Yeah, I would
just
think
they down.
Yeah, they both go down at the same time for sure. All right. So you think I was a year off?
I think it's happening this year.
Damn.
It's over.
Okay. Team LFG, the spin-off studio from Bungie. Yeah. They show this game.
The Gummy Bears game?
They show it playable.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be one of those situations where it's gonna come out pretty quick, or at least some kind of beta format.
I don't think it. No, so this is another one. I don't think it releases this year, but I think they announce it and they get like a playable out there, kind of like maybe even like a Marvel Tokon sort of scenario. Like they run
like
this,
a network test,
like multiple network tests. Yeah, because that's the thing. From this point on, predicting Sony's like live service output, I think they completely understand this idea now of like we can't like make the game and release it. It has to be like these very constructive feedback loops with an audience. Like they cannot do a Concord again. Like you got to like get it out there as early as you can and let people like decide if the thing has a chance to live. Okay. And apparently this game was in like playable shape. Like it wasn't, like they might have something to actually put out there.
Okay. I mean, I'm interested. People are describing it as actually pretty unique. So that's what live service needs. It needs to be kind of unique. So,
well, we need more frog games. So that's what they're working on too.
All right. I will say the PS5 will go up in price again in the US.
Only the US?
That I'm just gonna mark the US because when it gets into like different, I have to name the region that I think it's gonna go up in, and I'm just gonna say the US because that's their biggest market. So it's like the toughest one I feel like to move. So I think the PS5 will have to go up in price again.
What about the Pro?
I think the Pro goes to 800.
So the Pro goes up too.
I think everything has to go up because the Pro is the Pro is using the most amount of RAM.
So what's weird is that like I included this in the 10 separate predictions for my channel, and I said PS5 goes up in price, Pro stays the same. I think Sony wants to stay away from like the optics of something costing $800.
Right. I think it's gonna be tough because the Pro has 2 terabytes of onboard SSD storage, and then it also has a bunch of RAM to go along with that for like the GPU and CPU side. So it's just it has all the stuff that is just getting really expensive right now.
Yeah, I probably should have added a huge caveat on the Pro section of like it like loses storage.
Oh, like I can see that like a 1 terabyte. Yeah. I could see that actually. Yeah.
I guess some sort of shrinkflation maybe would have made sense to protect the cost of it. I just don't see it going up in price.
Okay, yeah, because the PS5 right now, if people just look at it versus say the Xbox Series, it still has like a $100 buffer between the current PS5 with the disc drive and then the Xbox Series X that is $650. I walked through Target the other day and I looked at that price tag. It's right there, but there's no Xbox Series X's, and I just think it's because they're not even ordering any, to be honest. So it was right there, $649.9. I was like, man, that's really where we are. So they got $100. They could go up to 600 and still technically be cheaper than their quote unquote competition.
Oh my god. Oof. This is tough because I feel like this is getting into the territory where I don't even really believe these things will happen.
Oh, that's my next one. My next one is literally that.
You don't think it's even going to happen? You're just saying
I know. It's the big swing of all of these.
I got to look at hold on, because this is all a timing thing, right? So I got to look at my older ones because there's like a lot that I just haven't repeated in a while. And I'm starting to think maybe I just go in the treasure box here.
Okay.
And now you use an old one that I think.
You got anything for like the classics category or like some crazy PS2 game they bring back or something? Or
I think it's gonna be the same slow output.
Okay.
It's just like maybe they'll finish up more like we need like Jack 2 and Jack 3. Like they'll head up they'll hit these games very slowly. I don't know if you're really gonna get any surprises in that department necessarily. I think they go back to the PlayStation Showcase name. Let's do that.
That's a good one. Like towards the end of the year kind of thing, like a November one.
I think I don't know if I'm not fully convinced this would happen just yet. The last showcase was 2023. This is like the sort of we're already in the back half of the console life cycle.
Right.
But this is the time where like there's a lot of things that should start being said. Reveals should be happening. The company does want to do at least like 1 to 2 tentpole games per year. So we can't be like overly optimistic of this is coming out. Like at the end of the day, like only a handful of games are actually going to ship during this year. But this is the time to talk about this stuff and show this stuff. Like that's why in the other 10 predictions I had, I'm like, oh, they're going to talk about Intergalactic. Like they're going to show gameplay for that. But it's like maybe the Fire Sprite game will get shown off too. But is that game going to launch this year? Is that considered a tentpole title? So it's hard to say, but I think as far as them speaking, maybe this is the time where you bring back the PlayStation Showcase name to telegraph that to the audience that this is a big event, this is a big deal. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, and these are games that are going to ship in 2027.
Okay, I like it. That would definitely get people excited to have that happen, which means you need a big reveal for that. That's the thing. We go into that assuming there's some big reveals, right? Okay. All right. Well. My last prediction. All right. Cory Barlog's game gets revealed. And it's a new game in the Kinetica universe.
Stupid. Am I really writing this down? And it's a new game
in the Kinetica universe.
Do you know what the Kinetica universe is?
Yeah, it's the racing game where everyone races around in like swimsuits and stuff. But it's not going to be a racing game. It's not going to do that.
No, naturally.
No, it can't do that. It's going to be kind of like sci-fi and stuff. It'll be what's that movie? What's that movie called? Man, I have to go look it up.
Yeah, that sci-fi movie. Yeah, there's a few of those.
It'll be kind. I'm picturing it'll be kind of like Alita Battle Angel kind of thing, where there's like there's like they have like the battle rolling thing, but that's not what most of it is. It's let's be real, third person action adventure over the shoulder narrative driven. Let's be real.
I gotta say it like
we know what it's gonna be.
we don't know that.
That's what I'm envisioning though, something along those lines. So different for Cory to work on, or who knows, he shows up and it's just God of War in Egypt. I don't know, but hey, if you want to take a swing, do something different, there you go. Kinetica universe, something new.
Yeah, like so my Santa Monica prediction was that they will announce this game. That is kind of their big thing. You probably do that at the showcase, but whether it's TGAs or whatever, sort of Jeff Keighley, wherever they do this, that's the sort of big thing they announced this year. But I think it's another like in-universe God of War game.
Yeah, that's probably what it will be. But I got to take the swing.
But John, I don't think Kratos or Atreus are the protags.
That'll probably annoy people.
But hey, what would annoy people more? That or Kinetica?
I don't know, because if it looks different enough and interesting, it might get people. It might be people involved.
I just
Otherwise,
like
it might be
how
here's another God of War game.
I just like how the rumor is like, oh, it's not a new IP, but it feels like one. So that means God of War, or oh, wait a minute, what's that one thing they also
Connecticut? They have two. They have literally two. So pick one.
Okay. Gee whiz. Okay, so you're going with that. That's your big swing. All right.
Watch them announce it next year. Like that. But it's next year. It's like that exact thing.
All right. You know what? I'll do a price rumor or a price prediction. PlayStation Plus goes up in price again.
Yeah, I can see that. I can say, which sounds crazy because it's already $80 for essential tier. That's the tier people should be most annoyed about is essential. But what if what happens if we get to next generation and Microsoft just cuts off pay to play online?
It's weird to say because like they're like not even in the conversation anymore.
Yeah,
this is like the default console to get now. It's like
yeah. I guess that's true. I would like to see something push them to get rid of the pay to play online aspect.
Here's the thing. So with the PS Plus thing, I think they don't touch essential. I think essentially you leave $80 a year.
Stays $80. Yeah,
because it's $80 a year.
It's quite pricey to play online. Yeah.
I think extra and premium goes up.
I can see. So extra does feel like a good middle ground right now for the pricing because I know there's a lot of people who with premium don't necessarily care about the classics like we might. And then the game streaming thing, same deal. And the game trials. I mean, I don't know if you've used I really have not used game trials at all.
No, for me, it's more of a like, I don't like that it is like the actual like base. It's the game. Like there's no separate executable you download. You download the game. And so you start earning trophies right away. You're like, it's safe. Everything's the same. But I don't like that it also, like, in a weird license way, if you download a trial, it like says trial on it like forever almost. Like it's hard to like overwrite it so it stops showing trial on it. Like the game is treated differently on the UI and in your game collection if you interact with it as a trial. So I don't touch them at all because it's a small thing, but it bothers me with how it interacts on the console.
Yeah, but those things I really haven't used much. So extra does, because you can also do extra and then just buy the classics that show up that you might want.
Yeah. I think extra goes to like 160 and then premium goes to 180 a year.
Getting close to that 200 mark, huh?
Yeah. I think they want to be careful to not touch that. But like they've got a really good conversion rate. They don't really disclose plus numbers anymore. But we know extra and premium continues growing. And I think what works to their benefit is you keep essential the same price. And then when you have these, Black Friday deals and days of play, they always run a sale on plus, but crucially, there's a asterisk on that, which is new signups or pro rate conversions. And that's always a much easier pill to swallow when somebody's halfway into their essential subscription and then they get a pro discounted rate to go up to extra or premium. And that rate, that pro rate might be like $30 or something based on the time of your, you know what I'm saying? Like based on the discount and the time left on your subscription, they're like securing you into a renewal that is then going to renew at 180 to 160. So I feel like I'm going to get very specific. I think that's what the numbers would be.
Okay. See PlayStation Plus price increase. Yeah.
All right. Those are my 5.
Yeah. I guess we'll see how this goes. Come on, Connecticut reveal.
That would be like the crazy. If you got that, I'd be like, he knew.
See, you would, but if you're watching that and that pops up, you're going to lose your mind. There better be some kind of shout out or something in that video where you do your reaction. You better be like, oh my gosh.
Like it would have like its own name or something like, the sweeping binds or something. And then like underneath it'd be like a Connecticut universe game or something like that.
I don't even know if they'll say that. They'll probably explain that it's in the Connecticut universe later on in PlayStation blog, but it'll be like because I mean, dude, how many people right now even know what Connecticut is on the PS2? It's such an old game now, But I'm sure they look at that and go, yeah, that's an interesting universe. We can do something with that.
Good luck, John. Good luck. All right. Well, those are our predictions. We do have some news, though. Some news. Some things going on in the PlayStation world as we kick it off into the year again and people are going back to work. We have the PS Plus Essential January lineup. It's live right now on PSN. That is Need for Speed Unbound, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, PS4, PS5, and then Core Keeper, PS4, PS5 as well.
Unbound's good. That's I mean, there's Rebrushed, but I just didn't get a chance to get to that one at all. I mean, I like the original when it came out.
I was very excited for Unbound. I don't know if I'll be.
Did you have you played? Have you? I would say, have you tried it yet, or no? Or
no, I haven't. But I always get like the Need for Speed itch every once in a while, and Unbound looks like something I'd probably jump into. So
that's true. You could throw it in your library and come back to it at some point.
Yep. Not a terrible January, I will say that. Next up, we had some new accessories recently announced. The HyperPop collection, console covers, and DualSense controllers were revealed. 3 colors. You got Techno Red, Remix Green, and Rhythm Blue. They're basically slightly transparent, but they have like a gradient finish to it where it's like black up top.
Yep.
And pre-orders begin January 16th, and they're launching March 12th. And no, there's no PS5 Pro version of the covers.
Yeah, I was looking at that, trying to figure out what was going on. I'm like, hold on a minute, where's the Pro? Like, this does nothing for me now. Like that's how it is for us now, right? We're looking at this going, okay, what do I do with this?
Nothing. You can get a controller.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, do I need another controller? I don't like the idea of at least changing up the system. That's interesting to me, but no, the control. I don't need another dual. I have enough DualSense controllers as it is. These do look interesting though. I was looking at that red and that blue, and I think they look good.
Oh, so you like the way they look.
Yeah, I like the gradient from it goes from black to like red or black to blue, and then they have the corresponding button colors, the symbols on the D-pad and the face buttons, and then even the joysticks are the same color to match. So I do like the way it looks. Yeah. Although, this looks glossy, and it looked like it from what they were showing. I'm not a fan of the gloss.
No, I love the gloss.
It scratches, so the scratches just build up on the thing.
But you shouldn't be touching it. Why would you touch the console?
No,
it's not a handheld.
The controller.
You think the controller is glossy?
It looks glossy what they were showing, and even in the picture here, it has that gloss sheen to it. Yeah. So that thing is gonna get lit up.
Lit up, he said.
I mean, just dust and stuff will scratch it, but it's general use. I mean, it's one of those. It's gonna be one of those controllers that I'd buy and just put it up and be like, that looks good, and then just never use it.
Well, that's the controller problem. Is that like you kind of get like 2 or 3, and I think most people are kind of good with that. And anymore, you just I don't know. They turn into shelf pieces in my view.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it's turning into for a lot of the controllers now. For me, it's like I see it pop up and I go, "That's cool," and then I just don't. We use the Edge, as you said. It's tough to go from the Edge back to the regular one if you have that Edge available. So, yeah, it's like this is a cool design. I wouldn't mind seeing it in person, but that's kind of it. The covers, though, I'm a little annoyed that we're not seeing more Pro covers, though. That's the thing that's bugging me.
Well, John, I need to remind you, for some godforsaken reason, the existing console covers on a Slim, 3 out of 4 of those covers fit on a Pro. Yep. I mean, I don't know how you fumble that. To just unify the product lineup and but 3 out of 4 of them work.
Which one doesn't work? Is it covering a major component or?
I think it's the panel that covers the M.2 bay.
Okay, that's probably
one of those. It's one of those, but it is still incredibly silly that it was not form factored to where they all fit.
You're right.
The only Pro covers they've offered is the Yote ones. That's it.
You know why it seems extra weird? The people who they figure would have the disposable income to buy a vanity piece for their system are the people who bought the Pro. That's the thing that's very strange about all of that.
I wonder if they're just like, man, we just don't sell enough of these, and we'd have to make a whole different, like multiple SKUs for this low volume console, and they just don't want to sit on that product and warehouse space for that long.
I guess that's the only explanation, but still, a lot of it is just direct order through their website anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. How the hell do you make 3 of them work, but the 4th one doesn't?
that seems like a major oversight. Like, I don't know, planning or something went awry. I don't know.
Mm. All right, John. Big news though. Big news. So, CES 2026, the Consumer Electronics Show. You know, throughout history, PlayStation usually doesn't play a big role here. During the PS5 cycle, now they'll talk about PlayStation a little bit at CES. This year, however, the Sony Honda Mobility Initiative was about the car. So their presentation was really only about this production vehicle, like a production example that they're going to give to California reservation holders later this year. So their presentation was only about this car. But you bet your bottom dollar there is some PlayStation news in here, because SIE's SVP, Eric Lempel, he took the stage, John. He took the stage. And he did confirm that Remote Play is going to ship in this car. It was in concept phase. They are confirming now. If you buy this vehicle, you can remotely connect to your PS5 and play on the displays in the back seat or the front seat.
Finally,
you excited?
I saw the Afeela car.
Yeah,
that they're selling, the Afeela 1,
mm-hmm.
and they had the digital dashboards as well, right? So you have they had Astrobot, God of War. And they just had others too. So I guess whoever buys the car will find out what others are. But I it's so funny they're going over all this stuff. They're like, and the price is like $106,000. It's like,
well,
okay,
yeah, it's an expensive EV. What do you expect?
And like, hold on a minute, we got the budget option, guys. Don't worry. And it's like 89,000. It's like, oh, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
The remote play thing is funny though, because it doesn't really help with the driving experience for the driver. And I get the idea is it's an EV. So when you're parked and charging, you can remote play from your PlayStation, I guess, but you could also, remote play with a tablet and or a phone and your backbone controllers. I don't know. It's just funny the way they had it set up.
Or a Portal. Because that was a fact that Eric Lempel dropped during this presentation. He went out of his way to say that the PS Portal is so popular that it now accounts for 50% of all remote play sessions compared to other devices. Compared to phones, tablets, PCs. It's 50% of the Portal now. And he dropped this while also announcing remote play in a car.
Yeah. I feel like it's just it's a concept that even this whole thing is just it's going to come to market apparently this year, I think, right? End of this year.
Later this year for California residents.
It's coming to market. It still looks like one of those first attempt concept car things. And they're like, I get PlayStation involved. We'll put them in there. Maybe they get to a point where a lot of these smart vehicles, EVs and stuff get remote play as an app. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. At least do something like that where it's more widespread.
Yeah, maybe if Sony wants to really open it up. I mean, the thing we're not doing car news here, but like at the very minimum, that's why they partnered with a legacy automaker, because they're not like a sort of Rivian or Tesla where it takes them 18 years and billions of cash to burn to get them off the ground. So, I mean, this car is coming out. The remote play thing they announced. They also announced that there's PlayStation themed wallpapers that you can change in the car's interior. So like you can change the infotainment to be like Astrobot themed or like God of War. Dude, I can't believe we just had to like shoehorn PlayStation stuff into the Sony Afeela 1.
They had so it says e-motor sounds too.
Yeah. Like some sort of engine note.
There's gonna be Astrobot noises when you hit the accelerator. No, if it plays the theme song when you get to a certain speed though. Or God of War, if they have like some crazy epic like Norse music playing while you're speeding along on the highway.
I don't know if I can fully get behind that, but there you go. If you got $100,000 to blow, you might want to put a reservation down on this car.
Well, somebody will. I mean, people will do videos and we'll get all kinds of car reviews for it, I'm sure. So we'll see the Sony integration at some point.
Maybe if I have like a local Honda dealer that has one in like mid
Oh
2026.
yeah, you could probably call them up and ask if
Like,
you can come out and do a video
yeah,
on it and stuff. Yeah.
can
Oh
I
yeah.
film a YouTube short real quick? Can I just like play Saros on this thing?
I think some of the I see it sometimes pop up on YouTube where they do a car review and they're in like or it's like in a parking garage. Like, I got to get this back in an hour to the dealership, guys. I'm test driving it. Let's go ahead and review it. That could be you, Ryan.
Yeah, this is my era of phone reviews, or Jesus, car reviews.
Yeah, that could be you.
That is what they do. They have to like shout out the local dealership that they got the car from.
Hey, why not? If they got it and you can have Astrobot noises while you're driving around, you gotta take that opportunity.
Got to do it. Next up, we have some big developments going on in the PlayStation 5 jailbreaking and hacking scene. Some stuff going on here, John. So apparently on December 31st, there was a data dump that appeared on the PS Dev Wiki and other private Discord channels where the PS5's boot ROM keys leaked out, which in layman's terms, this is like level 0 sort of security access. These are encryption keys that are in read-only memory. It's like etched into the console's APU. So this is one of those things where you can't just like patch this out necessarily. Like these are pretty vital keys. It's similar to the PS3 keys when those leaked out as well. That's why there's there's certain PS3 models that can't be jailbroken. They can install hen,
right?
But like there is like hardware like silicon baked in like security layers that if that's not there, like every console can be cracked. Otherwise, so that's the more the layman term explanation of this leak. Now, the thing is, it's my understanding that like, obviously this is a path to where like, in theory, it's jailbreaking, it's running unsigned code, it's pirated games, maybe loading up Linux properly on the console. But there's a big caveat here, like this there's still things missing. This doesn't fully unlock the system.
No.
Like, yeah, it's one of those things where you got to like pay attention to people that know this stuff a lot better than you do. And it's my understanding that they need NAND group keys or things that are on the NAND groups, and then like pulling something directly off the APU. Like the full package is not here to unlock the system. Basically.
No, this is a step in that direction though. So it's one less thing that I have to try to guess at or figure out. The thing that was weird to me is no one has an explanation as to how they showed up.
Well, I don't think you'd ever get an explanation about something quite like this.
Apparently they just appeared on the PS5 dev wiki that a lot of these people keep for this kind of documentation. All of a sudden it gets updated with these keys and they're like, oh. And then when it was getting shared and people were posting like, oh, look at this, these PS5 keys were just randomly dropped online, Sony started striking down any social media post that had a screenshot of it. So basically tells you they're probably right. It's probably the correct keys. And now I'm sure Sony is trying to figure out how they had that kind of a security leak. Because that's what it is. Those are keys that are supposed to be secure, confidential. Now they're online. So you're right, though. There is more that needs to be done here. But, it wouldn't shock me if at some point we hear about the PS5 getting the PS3 treatment, which the PS3 treatment right now it's very easy to hack PS3 models from like 2501 and before. So all the slim ones, other than the late stage and super slim, those are all just, it's use a web browser on the PS3 to break it open. And it's pretty good right now. Like a lot of the stuff's been worked out. So the PS4 and PS5, you can get it's currently hacked through the Blu-ray drive, but it's a tethered hack to where you still need to do it every time you turn the system on. So kind of like hen. Still exists like that. But there is talk right now about there being another hack where you don't need a disc. It would just be through the View app. VUE.
I did see that. It's the old PlayStation View application.
Yep. That's apparently now going to get some usage. The thing no one uses is now all of a sudden going to start being. So why are these people fired up View? Oh, that's why. So that's because that's one of the big bottlenecks right now is you need to have a Blu-ray burner to send this little, it's like 16 megabytes. Got to burn it to the Blu-ray, and that's what unlocks the PS4 and PS5 currently. So the View app will solve that for a lot of people, but still not to the level that we have with some of the others. This is just part of that. So
it's a crucial part though. As I understand it, there is other things that are needed, but that could be a path for them, assuming that they get the rest of that they need. The other aspect of the jailbreaking hacking scene that popped up recently, this was a pretty big headline, was that there's a limited run game, Star Wars Racer Revenge, went up in value. It's like $200-$300. And it's a
Yeah.
limited run game. So there's obviously not that many copies. There's like 8,500 copies or something like that. But that's a PS2 emulation game, just printed on disc. It's a PS4 game, which a lot of those older PS2 titles I know like had JIT privileges, and there's like ways to break out of the emulator. And so they're not fully secure. Well, anyway, there were headlines earlier about how a developer behind the upcoming 12.0 PS5 jailbreak said that this game would be needed in order to possibly break out of the emulator, run unsigned code, and that could facilitate a jailbreak. This is another scenario where like this exploit does not provide kernel access. This is not like going to just jailbreak the game for you. So that's like a little bit misleading there. This isn't like don't panic buy the game to jailbreak a PS5 just yet.
No, I wouldn't, because people are once again talking about how there's going to be other methods anyway. So this seems to be super short term, by even honestly a couple months at this rate, where some other method will pop up. We've had this before with a bunch of other systems. I remember with 3DS, Cube Ninja was a big thing, and that exploded in price, and now it's like not worth anything. So even though it sounds interesting to people, I'm sure you're right, don't panic buy it, because I don't know if people have realized this yet. When you do jailbreak a PS4 or a PS5 or whatever and start running hen and stuff, then you start to talk about, of course, people want to back up games and move them around. You'll very quickly understand why it doesn't happen as often, because you're dealing with 40, 50, 60 gigabyte games. And it takes a while to do anything with it. And right now for the PS4, you have to go from the PS4 to your PC back to your PS4. So you're moving these files around a lot. And then you have to have the right version of it, because there's updates that have happened and it has to line up. And it can be kind of a whole thing. It's still in early days for even the PS4, as crazy as it sounds. But for both of them, I think you still need that full custom firmware jailbreak before it gets to the level of, okay, now people can start looking into it. By then, the PS4 will be extra legacy, because that'll probably be, I mean, it's crazy to think how old the PS4 is now, but it'll probably be, 17 or 18 years old by the time all that happens.
Yeah. So that's what's going on there. Some big developments, but nothing that you can get too crazy about just yet. We had a patent appear that was highly publicized. It's Sony's AI assistant patent, which they filed this back in September 2024. And also, if you read further into the patent, there's a different variation of it that goes back to October of 2023. But I guess they were published earlier last year, not noticed or spotted until recently. But it's called AI-generated Ghost Player. This describes a method for providing assistance to the player of a video game, where an AI assistance engine can step in and play the game for you. It can also be trained via playthroughs of other users. It can scrap online resources like YouTube videos or Twitch streams. And then from there, it can offer more granular help. So things like maybe providing a text prompt on what to do, maybe show button inputs. It could naturally talk to you in a way where you ask it a question. And from that point, it could just play the game for you. Is there anything here that sounds surprising, John?
I mean, it is funny because we're talking about the game playing itself. So couple of years from now, hey, 30 platinums in 30 days will take care of itself. You don't have to worry about it.
No, that's not fun.
I mean, it's fun about that, right? Isn't it all the same?
Well, not really.
It plays the game for you. So how do you feel about that if we get to a point where, as a trophy hunter, to where I could get the same platinum by just hitting a button and telling the system to get it for me, basically?
Well, the right thing to do would be to put up rail guards on invalidating trophies. I mean, it's
okay. I like
is that like, like is that shocking?
Well, what happens if there is so let's say I get there's 50 trophies. I got 49 of them myself. No assist needed. But then there's this one boss in this new FromSoft game that's impossible.
Okay.
But if I flip a switch and tell AI to spend the next 5 minutes beating it, but I spent 40 hours before that doing everything else, should I still get the trophy?
Well, it's like speculating on something where you don't know how they'd make this decision, but these decisions have already been made like previously as far as how that even works on a game by game basis for something as simple as cheats. Like if a game sports cheat codes, I've done enough trophy hunting to tell you that some games cheats don't disable trophies. A lot of games, the cheats do disable trophies. So it really depends on, is this system-wide implementation? Is it a game-by-game implementation? Do the developers have any sort of like API access to the AI assistant? Can they get a granular setting of trophies can still pop if player uses X, Y, and Z actions of the AI assistant versus these other actions? Like all those things have to be answered before like, that can be determined. But I would think they could very much do all those things.
Yeah. So, I mean, to my understanding, this would be something where the AI assistant would be kind of just trained in a big, neural network or whatever, and it wouldn't need even input from developers for a game because it'll have been trained for any of these different things that could happen in a third-person action game or a first-person shooter. It'll kind of be able to recognize and figure stuff out on the fly. So that to me is kind of the idea of this game assistant. And I think, yeah, it's probably targeted. It would be targeted towards, we'll say, because again, a patent, it's all theoretical until they use it. Probably towards the mainstream that, let's face it, they don't necessarily have the determination of running into a wall 50 times and then breaking through on the 51st time. How some of us may with an Elden Ring or a Dark Souls or what difficult game. But even if it's not a difficult game, sometimes people just get lost. Oh, yeah. They don't know where to go. And if you could just hit a button and be like, take me where I need to go, and they get me back on track, and it just literally takes control of your character, walks you over, fast travels where you need to go, points it out, and then either speaks to you or puts in writing, this is where you need to go next. It keeps them in the game. And I think that's the thing Sony's trying to combat right now. It's if you don't like what you're doing, you're not having fun, you're just going to go scroll TikTok or social media or go pick up a new game or watch Netflix or something. So
no, you nailed it 100%. I see something like this and I think this company's been probably trying to do this for 20 something years. Mm-hmm. Like they've patented AI assistant things like this. This reads like a patent I've seen before. That was a crazy one. I've seen patents like this 10 years ago from Sony. I think they've always explored this. They're always experimenting, always trying different things out. But you're hitting it exactly where I thought this was going. They're like carefully tracking gameplay hours, and they want to reduce as much friction as possible for any players that like feel even remotely inclined to get off the PlayStation. That was the whole point of the control center and activity cards and game help, is that here's this, baked in game feature that you can evoke the activity card, look up estimated time to make sure like, oh, okay, I'm going to be committed to finishing out this mission. Oh, here's where I need to go. Here's a text guide written by the studio because the studio has to make it. Here's like a baked in video to show where this collectible is. I actually really like game help, and that's probably why they also did community game help, which slightly automates the process. But even still, there's only so much automation you can do before something is much more exponentially feasible like Gen AI, where it can be modeled and trained. So this is one of those use cases where I feel like this makes a lot of sense. I almost feel like it would be a core tenet of PS6, just in that they have to be concerned about how do they sell a PS6 to you when graphics are kind of taking a backseat nowadays. Of course, there's ray tracing, there's ML, but I think about the UI. What's the UI going to look like? How are they going to try and sell a PS6 to you? And probably some sort of AI assistant would be I think a pretty big selling feature. It's also a great boon to accessibility. Sony's been doubling down a lot on accessibility for the console and all their games. So this would be huge for anybody that needs like a very granular sort of setting that helps their play, especially because they can make it granular. I'm like, I don't want you to play the game for me. Can you tell me what is like a little bit in front of the character for eyesight or hearing? Like, I think this makes a lot of sense, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense to me. It just gets down to the point of a person being able to sit down and watch, put the controller aside, and just the AI beats the game for them. I mean, that's just for us, that just sounds weird, but there's probably people out there like, oh, cool, finally. I can
the people would probably do that though. Like
Oh yeah,
That's the environment we live in. Some people like watching Twitch streamers, and some people don't even play games. They just like watching them.
There's like watching them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the way it goes. I don't know. It just sounds funny when you say it out loud.
No, like the trophy thing, I would hope it's similar implementation that some studios do with cheat codes. So like some games, like you'll check the trophy guide and people will be pretty happy when they see cheat codes do not disable trophies. And your eyes light up knowing that you can just cheat your ass all the way through it and the trophies still pop. It happens. It happens. That and glitches.
Yeah. That's true. Let me read some of these super chats here that were sent in, Ryan.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hank says, Ryan, I platinum the order 1866 today.
Well, I'd love to platinum that too. Congrats. If it's the order 1886, congrats. I know it's like a 5-ish hour platinum, but I still really enjoy that game. It's always fun going back to it. It looks gorgeous too.
Let's see. We have Ahmet Bey says, in Ryan's December 2025 Q&A video, I mentioned that I had scheduled a meeting with the CEO, really, Hideki Nishino, and I did meet with him.
This is true. He said that he went to the SA headquarters and he scheduled a meeting with Hideaki Nishino. So I guess if you want to meet any of these people, you just walk right through the front door and try to get on their calendar.
Interesting. There you go, Ryan.
To San Mateo, John.
Hey, go for it. You should do that, Ryan.
There you go.
Toasty says, this April will be 7 years since Days Gone came out. Is it time to give up sequel hope? Could Ben be working on Days Gone 2 now?
Well, I mean, you should have gave that up a while ago because we knew what they were doing for years, and it wasn't Days Gone 2.
They don't seem that interested in it, apparently.
Yeah, Ben leadership just didn't want to do it. I mean, that's the thing, is that it was denied internally. Like, it never even made it to Sony. And there was like a whole thing with like John Garvin and Christopher Reese, and so there was some sort of civil war that played out at Bend, I believe. I don't want to speculate too much, but it's like we kind of knew for a long time that Days Gone was not happening. I guess the only hope you do have in the here and now is that they are starting up something new, because previously it was some sort of like live service third-person shooter combat game, which is kind of their wheelhouse anyway. So we don't know. I'd be inclined to still say that you're probably not getting it, but this might be the most realistic chance, because previously we could have said confidently, no, you're not getting that.
Nora Fair says, Ryan, GTA 4 was my first platinum back in 2009. I just wanted to get again on my other PSN account. Thanks for agreeing to help me, bro.
So, okay, that's the thing, is that every super chat we learn more about this. And I asked him over and over. No, but I asked him, I'm like, are you actually doing it? Like, what's taking you so long? So you're telling me you got it and you're doing it again.
Okay.
Coming from somebody that has done it again? Are you
dedication?
Fucking crazy?
Dedication.
Fuck that, dude.
Dedication.
No way.
Barang says GTA 4 Remaster comes out. Can I join you on getting the plat? Also finished Final Fantasy 16, loved it, and getting the plat. Still working on my 30 plats video. Hey,
nice. Good luck, Barang.
Apparently, if GTA 4 Remaster comes out, we're all going to do this. That's what I'm gathering from this whole thing.
Listen, it's not going to have online. Online's the problem with that game. The single player, I think the only two problematic single player trophies is beating the main campaign in 30 hours, which is like a healthy amount of time. So
yeah, I think it's good.
It's not hard to do. I think it's that, and then it's like getting all the pigeons are a pain. But it's like, whatever, that's still fine, I guess. Unless they do if they do a remaster and they want to add somewhat new content, they might give it a sort of GTA 5 style mission requirements where there's multiple things you can do within the mission as side objectives to complete it for I forget how they rate it. I think it was percentage based to get 100% on every mission or something. They might do that. That could be a new requirement.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we get, hopefully, if that exists. What else you got, right? Those are the super chats. Shout out to everyone who dropped those in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, as always. So naturally, it is slightly slow of a news week, so I thought this would be at least funny to point out. John, did you see people ripping on this game, that this channel or this trailer that PlayStation uploaded to their channel called Ebola Village.
Yeah, what's going on with this, by the way? Because Sony's done this for a few, and this isn't new. They did it with that. What was that Tiger game that everyone made fun of, and Sony for some reason had that uploaded to their.
Well, like it looks like shovelware, you know. But
Yeah.
this one, like it's called Ebola Village. It very clearly looks like a Resident Evil ripoff. Doesn't look like a good one. Looks very janky and rough around the edges. And the thumbnail looks, I'm pretty sure the thumbnail's AI generated. But the trailer goes up, people push back on it. They're like, "What the hell is this? Is this the kind of game you're promoting?" Just obviously,
it's on PlayStation Japan.
Yeah, it's still it's still up on there. But they did private it on the main PlayStation YouTube channel, so they did take the trailer down.
Yeah, this does. This looks so bad.
Oh, you're watching the footage now. It does look bad, yeah. You know what's weird too? Like, I'm not trying to defend it, but like you watch it and you go, that just looks like a really bad game versus like the genuine, like super misleading crap on PSN nowadays. You're getting Ebola Village if you buy it.
Yeah.
Full disclosure. It looks like Ebola Village. Doesn't look like a good game. But, you know, in a weird way, there is a spectrum of crap now where it's like, oh, that's just regular crap versus like maybe all these like constant simulator games.
It's just lying to you.
Yeah, those are like straight. A lot of them are like actually misleading in the sense that they don't even use the right screenshots.
But, yeah, what's with the PlayStation Store is it's kind of junked up often when I look through it, like with there's like recent releases and other things, and you're right, it's a lot of simulator games.
A lot of simulator games.
A lot of simulator games.
Dude, a lot.
If you've ever wanted
to simulate anything in your life, I mean, goddamn, the PlayStation Store might have it now.
I mean, it's going to happen when you have a popular platform. People are going to flood your market, but
yeah,
your marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, it's a popular storefront now. I mean, the issue is like it's a bunch of these shell companies that have got to be like passing around 1 or 2 dev kits,
right?
And they're just pumping this trash out because they're in the dev portal now. So at that point, the game submissions, like there's an automated process that takes place, and it's the argument we've said before. Like, there's no sort of human review that looks at these and goes, "We just don't want you here." Like, that's just not happening. So you're just getting a lot of crap on the store, and it like the meta imagery for like the key art for it, and then some of the main art that shows up, like it's all AI generated. That is not going to be reflective of the main game. And oftentimes when you look into the store page for that game, the various screenshots will like some of the first few might actually look somewhat compelling, and then you get to like 3 on the back end, and it looks that's the real game, and you see just how awful it looks. So I
see I searched for just like some of the PS5 like immediately 10 days ago Reddit posts about how its PlayStation Store is basically unusable for actually finding games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Nintendo Store, the PlayStation Store. They both have this issue. Steam obviously can have this issue. Like if you scroll through Steam's recent releases, it's insane looking. So it's kind of all these storefronts are having a hard time with this right now.
Mm-hmm. They're I really hope behind the scenes there's like a genuine sort of looking at our own policies and thinking like we really should like completely redo this. Because I don't know if it gets to a point where you start straight up rejecting games, but maybe you should start doing that. But there has to be manual human review before you do that. You can't automate this process. The second you start automating it, you're going to reject games that probably shouldn't be rejected. And that's just going to be a big headline for Sony that some X, Y, and Z small indie dev that's been working on this game on their own for number of years. They can't get published on PSN. They can't get support. Then it goes up on IGN and Kotaku. It's bad PR. Like you can't automate the process. You got to completely redo this, and you have to have people looking at these games, and that way somebody can look at another simulator and game and say, "I don't want this here."
Yeah, is it just too much is coming in? They can't do that. I'm not really sure what the deal is.
I don't know. And they are all shell companies too. Like there's no accountability either. So you see like the developer name on the store page, but you Google it, it's not going to take anywhere. You're not going to find a website. You're not going to find anything. There's no accountability.
Yeah, just links from one website to another website back to the old website. It's just a big circle. Yeah, because I've looked into a few of these companies before, and it's never ending rabbit hole that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Actually, is Ebola Village still coming out, or did they just take down the trailer?
I don't know who let that. Who put that on their YouTube channel?
Wait, but it did say it's coming out January 23rd. That's what it says.
Yes, and I love the logo too. By the way, at the end. I mean, it looks like Resident Evil 2. It's great.
Yeah. Are you on the store now? Is it on there still?
January 23rd. Let me see.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. Oh, wow. There's Ebola 3 too.
They already doing the third one?
Yeah. I guess they're doing a Goat Simulator 3 because I don't see the second game on here.
I do see Ebola Village here. Yeah, you're right. 23rd. 4 p.m. Eastern.
It's dropping 4 p.m. Eastern. Very good. You can wishlist it. You can't pre-order it.
It's already out on Steam.
Yeah, Ebola 3 is out right now. That was a PS4 game.
I was going to say they got the third one out before the Village. Okay.
Ebola 3 was published by 404 Games Limited.
The screenshots on Steam are hilarious because it's like the best possible frames from the video they can take, and that's it. And there's just a few of them. That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, like this just looks like a regular bad game. I would not classify this as the same as all the other like simulator games.
This is AI generated content disclosure from Steam. They disclose how the inventory icons were partially created by a neural network and completed by an artist. The game's cover on Steam was partially created by a neural network and completed by an artist. It seems weird when you have to have the game cover, the first thing people see, made by AI. To me, I have a hard time believing there's not a lot of other stuff created by AI in that game then. The cover, that's the part that has to be AI generated. I don't know.
Oh. You know what, though? I like that there's been more community pushback because if Sony just keeps letting this happen,
well, yeah,
get mad at it. If you don't want this on the store, you gotta be loud and angry about it. But again, the weird thing is, I almost feel like this game actually is somewhat fine versus like the other things that show up on the store.
Well, they had for a while the trophy spam was happening. Or
like
one-button trophies.
Yeah, those games are a problem. I guess the massive simulator games that are like content empty, and again, it gets into sort of a gray area. Do you say no to everything? Just some things? It's hard to say.
Yeah, it just makes the store look trashy is really what it comes down to. So
that too. Next up, John, we have the DICE Awards, the nominees. So the DICE Awards are happening February 12th. This is like one of those award ceremonies where it's more of I guess prestigious, but it's the not Jeff Keighley fluff. You know, most people watch the TGAs because you get the game announcements in there. But, if you want like a show that's just bare bones, it's about celebrating the industry and recognizing the talent in the business. This ceremony is on February 12th. We can say that Claire Obscura and Ghost of Yotei have 8 nominations each. Then Arc Raiders and Dispatch have 6. Blueprints has 5, and Death Stranding 2 has 4. The game of the year is going to be down to Arc Raiders, Blueprints, Claire Obscura, Dispatch, and Ghost of Yotei.
Okay. DICE Awards doesn't get as much publicity, I guess, as the Game Awards, but
it does not. No, I think they like struggle to reach a few thousand concurrent viewers, or less than 1,000. I can't remember.
Still put it on your box that it's a Game of the Year or some kind of winner, I guess, still with it. DICE Awards winner.
That's that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people like in the business, like to them, this is just as high as TGAs. Like it's, to be recognized by your peers in that category is pretty big, which, as a little aside here, another news story, we have Naughty Dog's Evan Wells is going to receive a DICE Award, and that's going to be presented by Neil Druckmann, which will be pretty cool. So Evan Wells was at Naughty Dog for 25 years, led the studio. He retired in 2023, so he's going to be given the Hall of Fame Award from the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, and that will be presented during the ceremony on February 12th.
Okay.
big congrats to Evan Wells. Of course, he contributed massively to Naughty Dog and their success. Next, we have Hideo Kojima providing an update on Fizzant.
Fizzant, hey, got it. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. There it is.
2026. Okay. In a post on X, Kojima said they will continue development on OD, as very likely their next game, but they did move forward with preparing Fizzant. And so he did give an update here that they're going to be casting actors, scanning, and doing performance capture shoots for Fizzant, the tactical espionage game signed with PlayStation.
Yeah, this thing's got 2030 written all over it.
Oh, hold on now, John. I mean, yeah, probably, but we're getting some progress updates. Pretty cool.
I mean, I'm sure for Kojima it's exciting because he's gotten to a level where he can just I feel like most actors, actresses, whoever he wants to be cast would be casted. Like they would want to be in his game. So he can absolutely get Conan O'Brien as one of the leads if he needs him.
Not one of the leads. Okay.
That was a big thing on Conan. I mean, he did a whole video on being in Death Stranding and they put an otter on his head. But Fizzant I like Death Stranding too, but I was thinking I'm ready for him to do something new. And just Fizzant, I am genuinely interested and excited for this game where I want to see more info about it because I just want to see what he's got. He's basically, hey, we're gonna make another Metal Gear Solid for you guys. Yeah, it sounds good. How weird are you gonna get with this one? Because there's no prior lore to it. You can do whatever you want. So that's the thing. While Metal Gear got very weird at times, they did still try to ground it somewhat in reality. So I'm wondering what he's going to do where it's not necessarily that grounded in reality necessity.
I don't want any reality at all.
No, you want to be like weird.
Yeah.
Psychic powers, the whole thing.
Just really weird. As weird as we can possibly get it. I mean, he says he wants to make polarizing experiences. I want some sort of internal mock reviews being done for this game, and if somebody even so much as enjoys it for a little bit, I want them to rush in there, throw the controller down, and say, "God damn it, we need to add more weird shit into this game."
Yeah. I will see. OD will be the next big one where I guess we'll see how weird he gets.
And with OD, like the trailer gives me goosebumps. I'm like, oh, I don't know what this is, and I love it. Give me more of this.
Yeah.
So, Fizzant, yeah, they're doing some actor and scanning and motion capture stuff this year. Next up, we have some trouble in paradise going on with the China Hero Project game, Convaleria. So this was a China Hero Project game that was in the second wave, I want to say. It's a co-op third-person shooter. And the game disappeared from Sony's webpage for the program. So they've got their own site, a bunch of China Hero Project games on there. Convaleria was taken off, and I guess they were taken off somewhat recently. They were on there for a long time. And there's been some accusations from the studio, Longforce, that there's been serious issues with them and Sony about repeated delays, lack of publishing direction, withholding pay, getting removed from the marketing materials. And there was like a various amount of issues popping up with outsourcing where Sony wants to exclusively do that through Virtuos and they don't get any sort of agency as far as, fielding other developers or approving milestones, things like that. So I guess there's just been some really big headaches going on with this one studio in particular, which also relates to when somebody changed over the program and started leading it. Mm-hmm. There's kind of a pretty big rabbit hole here. There was like emails they put out and everything. And so I still didn't really have time to look into this that much further, but I thought it was at least pertinent to mention this program that's supposed to be fostering studios from these countries and giving them funding and publishing power on console. Well, one of them is being like, yo, we're having a bad time over here.
Well, I feel like how many studios are involved? You're going to have some that have issues in some way, shape, or form. So as you mentioned, it seems like they're putting emails out and trying to show their side of it. Who really knows what's going on? Development is such a messy process that people probably don't realize somehow comes together at the end, and it's almost a little miracle that it does from a lot of these games. So this seems to be just one, I guess, that's got very publicized. And the thing is, Sony, I'm sure, can just be like, whatever, moving on from it. I mean, that's probably the case,
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, they might very well be breaking a number of contracts that they signed, so they might get kicked out of the program at this point.
Yeah.
But I think people forgot about Convaleria because that one I don't think has had a new trailer in a while.
Well, we're kind of finding out why right now. So
there you go. I'll keep my eyes on that, see if there's any bigger developments with that game. This goes back a little over a week ago, I want to say 2-ish weeks ago. We had it again, kind of a big break. It was during that really slow news week. It was like all those headlines coming out from Sean Layden, if you remember that, John. So, former chairman of Worldwide Studios, Sean Layden, he was speaking with Naomi Kyle on the podcast Pause for Thought. Just a handful of things said. I don't know what you want to cover here, John.
I want to cover why Sean Layden's not on this podcast.
Well, we can try and reach out to him, see if we can get Sean on here.
Okay.
Yeah. Get his email.
I would like to ask him about some of the stuff he was saying in this recent podcast. So I'm sure about the name, but there was universal game format, and I need him to expand on that a little bit.
All right,
I don't think he explained it very well.
Let me jump down to that quote. I kind of think he did. Yeah, it was about breaking the 250 million console barrier. He's like the guy that often brings this up, and he's not wrong, which is like there's a ceiling on the console audience. Like every cycle, it's always like 250 something million consoles. Never really breaks past that, as in consoles aren't growing. He even went out of his way to explain like we kind of broke past that with PS3 360 Wii, just because like everyone was doing okay during that cycle, and it was really the Wii that broke into that casual audience with Wii Fit. But that's the point he always makes. Generationally, it doesn't get past 250. Right. So he was just explaining how do we break that, and he's like, well, basically we're all just going to have to decide to open it up like he described it as a VHS versus Betamax scenario. VHS won because they licensed it out to other manufacturers. I don't know if this is really his like he wants us to happen, or if it's like his opinion of it should happen. I think it was just in context explaining to break past that number. That's what has to happen.
Well, the thing is he's explaining Microsoft's strategy. That's the thing that's weird to me, because he's talking about how a universal game format not having to split between platforms, because then you just split the user base up, and there's questions about, does this game play on this system? If not, can my kids play with their friends, or can I play with my my coworkers or friends or whoever when we go home and play Call of Duty or Halo or whatever, right? Like we want to go play Fortnite. And for the most part with Fortnite, because there's no buy it. You get like a code in a box, I think, right? They don't get a disc. But like Fortnite just works across platforms. That's actually one of the better examples that I'm assuming he's thinking of. But a universal, because he even mentions putting in like a Linux box or something. Oh, and everyone can just use that. It'll just be like this standardized format or OS. And that's what Microsoft is trying to pull everything together under Windows right now. So you would buy it on your Xbox, and it's this Xbox Play Anywhere, and it would then also work over here on this computer, or it would work on your laptop or your handheld PC that people are talking about more and more now. And it's kind of this universal method of buy it here, it's everywhere. That's exactly what Microsoft is trying to do right now. So it was interesting that the Sean Layden, the ex-Sony executive, who, okay, probably went out on bad terms just based on some of the rumors around how he was exiled from the company or whatever, is like, oh yeah, Microsoft, that's the strategy that would probably break us past 250 million people. I assume just barrier of entry would be lower, and that's one of the reasons he's saying that.
Yeah, I think it's like a distinction of like actual console hardware breaking past the 250 million versus the idea of a publisher putting their games everywhere and making it available everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, I mean, I think that's sort of what he was getting at, but that was certainly like the contentious thing he said. I mean, there's a handful of other things, because the dichotomy of that is like, well, he's saying that, and at the same time, he said like exclusivity is still important. That was another big quote.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. When you read two different headlines, you go, what the hell is this guy talking about? You got to listen to it in context. He was asked about console exclusivity, if he thinks they're on the way out. So for that particular question, he said, quote, I don't think every game has to be console exclusive. I don't think every game should be console exclusive, but I do accept the fact that if you're going to have platform companies like Sony and Nintendo, largely, and Microsoft is more of Xbox anywhere, everywhere, there is a huge value to the brand of having strong exclusives. If Mario starts showing up on PlayStation, that's the apocalypse, right? Cats and dogs living together. And the same goes for Nathan Drake and Uncharted. I think they make the platform sing. That's the quote. which is, I would say, is right.
Yeah, I mean, now think about now where we're talking about prices for all these systems going up. You absolutely have to now more than ever justify why they exist. And yeah, the exclusive is basically why for a lot of people. For Nintendo, it's clear cut. That's like their primary goal is exclusivity to sell hardware. Sony still does it, but I understand they're getting away from it more and more as they move stuff to PC. And I don't know, apparently do this Helldivers 2 thing with Xbox, but that's the tried and true method. We've known it forever. Maybe it's us. I've thought about this because we're older, and then the new generation coming up doesn't really understand the exclusivity thing as much. And I was trying to think back to like the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. You can say PS1 and N64. Like, I don't think I really asked why Sonic wasn't on the Super Nintendo. I just knew it was Sega, and that was it. And I was like, yeah, it's, well, for a while it was the Super Nintendo cannot run Sonic. That was the explanation. It's like, it can't run that game. Turns out it could, but it was it was the whole thing of that's Sega. That can't be on the Super Nintendo. And now I'm not even messing right. The kids ask, why is Mario? You have to ask, why is Astrobot not on the Switch? Like, well, it's Sony. They're like, oh, that's fine, but why isn't it on the Switch? Like, it doesn't process in their mind. And when I was their age, Sonic, I was like, yeah, no, it's Sega. It's not going on the Super Nintendo. But it was also a bit more rowdy back then. We were like, the console war, the bit wars were in full effect. They were in full swing.
Sure, yeah.
It was Sega versus Nintendo, and it was serious business on the playground. So it's interesting how those things change when it comes to that mindset around exclusives versus then. Now there are people online that say exclusives are just bad. It doesn't make any sense to have them.
The thing is, consoles are still very traditional. It is kind of the last holdout. Everything around us does have that mass availability. Like, I think that was another quote he mentioned in here, but it's like, it is true that it'd be kind of insane to think that you can't watch a movie on one specific device you own because you don't own another device. We all have that expectation. So consoles are that holdout. So what's interesting though, John, is like he's suggesting, that if we want consoles to grow, there has to be some consolidation. Technically, that's kind of happening right before our eyes. Like a third guy is basically dropping out. Like we had 3 for 20 years, more than 20 years.
Yep.
We're kind of seeing one leave. Like, dude, it's a third year in a row of more than 30% year-over-year declines. And they had their worst sales report come out of the UK, like the worst they did in December. Whatever the numbers are, they're bad. Like they basically dropped out. So there's already some consolidation happening, conceivably. PS5's going up in price, and the damn thing is still selling at the same rate of sales as PlayStation 4. Those people got to be coming from somewhere. They got to be willing to be buying consoles.
I assume they're moving from Xbox to PlayStation. Yeah.
If they do move, then it's either PC or PlayStation.
Yeah, for that experience. Yeah. And I mean, coming off the Switch 1 was, people are having a hard time placing these systems in which generation and stuff, but that market is seems pretty content with the idea of the handheld hybrid setup. And we see with the PC gaming handheld, people are pretty happy with that. Well, even though a smaller section, that's still a really young market though, if you think about it. The Steam Deck is really what kicked it off. I know we had the GPD Win and a few others, but like the Steam Deck, I think, is what really got it moving, and it sold the most out of all the handhelds. So if you consider that, it's been 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that. So that's still, I think, a market that needs to mature a bit more. We have so many of them coming out, and people just keep looking to Valve to make the next jump with the Steam Deck too. Still years off from that. So it's an interesting time in gaming when it comes to the hardware side, because I still have no idea how Microsoft is going to approach next generation with this OS approach. The situation, it's strange. So I'm curious to see how they present it, and I want to know what the cost of the next system is going to be. These things keep going up in price. I don't know how you sell more of them than last generation, the generation before, and it gets tough.
Well, John, I think that's a good segue to that one big rumor that came out, which is from Insider Gaming. Apparently, the companies are reconsidering. So that was a report. That one was by Tom Henderson, wasn't it? He wrote that one, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. According to sources, people they've spoken to, just what they're hearing is that there is some heavy consideration based on the crazy sort of global RAM pricing going up and SSDs, and now even GPU pricing is looking completely out of whack. But just like the cost for these parts and to fabricate and the global supply that's available, like other electronics are going to feel it. And so allegedly, a Sony and a Microsoft are reconsidering possibly moving away from that 2027 timeline that we've been hearing about. 27, even 28, maybe. And there's not much in the report. That's all it says. So, I mean, it's funny because that report came out, John, and I think you're kind of in the same lane here of like everyone like read that and went, cool. Like
it's really funny, right? It is funny because I thought about that a bit. It's man, it's so different now versus you remember that the PS3 and the 360 when we were, you can even say 5-6 years in, people were going,
yeah,
man, these systems are struggling. These systems are struggling right now. Can we get something new? And it just I remember the discussion around that was much more positive with a PS4 or a new Xbox. Part of that's also because I feel like the 360 generation, I know the Kinect was, we look back on that now and we're like, bad idea. But the Kinect, when it came out, there were people were pretty excited about that thing and it sold well. So I'm saying we're coming off of a pretty positive generation for Microsoft. And for Sony, I think a generation that people warmed up to over time when the system got cheaper and the games started coming out and they kind of righted the ship. And there was a lot of optimism for the PS4. That's just not the case. That people are like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. I don't need a PS6. PS5 is good. It's fine. On the Xbox side, I mean, I feel like anyone who wanted an Xbox has already bought an Xbox. I don't know if a lot of people are going out looking for Xboxes right now. A $400 Xbox Series S is a tough sell.
It is.
You know, so I think most people who have an Xbox are content with their Xbox. But the same on the PS5. It's just many more PS5s that people are happy with. And maybe is it because, I mean, some games do stress the system, but is it because we don't have that big landmark game that people point to and they're like, man, this game, it's struggling. The PS5 needs help. I don't know if I felt that necessarily like we've had with previous generations.
No, I definitely not. I mean, it's diminishing returns. We're definitely there. It's weird though. Like I think even just a few years ago, consumers were still very happy to like upgrade their tech pretty frequently, like much more than they used to before. Even when it's incremental upgrades, like people got so conditioned to like buy a new iPhone like either every year or every other year. It's every 2 years. And consoles, even before PS3. So this was already the old way that this happened. Before PS3, generations were 4 to 5 years. That's pretty short. It was PS3 360, like you said, that's where it like started feeling really long. And so now this still would have been 7 years. So this is the sort of new 7 years, and then you get a new one. I guess that's why Sony also explores half-step consoles more often, so you get that incremental option. But to think that it would go 8 or 9, which would then be the longest we've ever had a console generation before the next one, it's weird to say that would be the longest one, but customers are really conditioned to buying things often. So I would be, if there was no crazy pricing and sort of global economy scares going on, I would almost think that PS6 could come out in 2027. Yep. And outside of what you read from enthusiast circles, it would sell just as well as PlayStation 5 and PS4. Yeah. I think it would. You can like read the Reddit headlines all day, every day, and comments, and anecdotally from what you see online in enthusiast circles, think that everyone wants to wait till 2030. If it shipped in late 27 and it wasn't obscenely expensive and the economy wasn't, completely uncertain, I think it would sell just fine. I think it would.
I think you're right. No, with that in mind, for especially the early adopters, the FOMO mentality, and how large the PlayStation user base is, even if 20% showed up, you're like, oh yeah, well, the PS5 sold 120 million or something, we'll say, by the time all that happens. That's what, 25 million people that are going to come out looking for a PS6 minimum. again, price dependent, but I think just the current economic climate, the price is not following previous trends to where we get to the end of the generation and the system was cheaper than where we started. It's hard to say how they even approach a next generation system, because what do you do with a PS5 Pro? What do you do with a $600 PS5? Like, what does that mean for the PS6 if we get to that point by the end of this year? I don't know. So that's the tough thing right now for Sony, because while the hardware side, they're trying to work this out, the software side is full speed ahead right now. Project Amethyst is rolling. And that's, how do you line all that up? It's with how weird the whole DRAM situation is, because the software side eventually has to release. I guess the nice thing on their end is they have this FSR update that's going to work into the PSSR 2, and that can continue to be something that gets pushed for the Pro. But if they won't even make side plates for our PS5 Pro, eventually they're like, hey, this software has to go out to more than than Ryan over here. We got to get more people on this software. We got to release the PS6. Eventually that day comes. So
yeah, I don't know, because it's like the worst possible timing. Like, they're right in the middle of this roadmap they're building with AMD and that Project Amethyst collaboration. You know, they've got PSSR 2.0 they're going to ship this year for PS5 Pro. There's probably a roadmap of a PSSR update that's supposed to coincide with PlayStation 6 software. Things being made right now likely are poised to have PS6 versions, and dev kits are probably going to go out soon. That surely must be right around the corner. That was actually another one of my predictions, John, is that I think we'll see a PS6 dev kit this year.
Oh, this year.
Like a spy shot. If you launch align it, right? If you align the timelines, we had a PS5 dev kit show up December 2019. That's when you saw the pizza cooker for the first time.
Okay.
So it's like, dude, like, once first parties would get them first, they're trusted, it doesn't go through as many lawyers, but those are going to be pretty airtight. I don't imagine we'll see a dev kit from a first party. Once they get to big third parties, and it has to go through a lot more lawyers, but there's like less control, like, you might see that potato spy shot. But like, that's the thing. This was supposed to be happening this year, dude. And you're telling me now that they're not going to manufacture and possibly ship the thing in 2027? And there's like contracts they got to lock in with the APU and fabrication. Dude, they've got to be like so pissed.
I mean, with how many moving parts, because we're talking about the Sony, Microsoft, or Sony's software side. Now think about any company that started development for a PS6 game last year or 2 years ago, and now they're hearing, wait a minute, we're not going to be able to launch this thing, you don't think, by 20? Are we waiting until 2029? Like, what's happening? It just seems like there's all the moving parts. Trying to get everything in sync is going to be almost impossible. So, I mean, somebody's getting burned somewhere behind the scenes with this thing, right? Radic does bring up the question about that handheld. The one thing that Sony does have is this handheld in development, and I don't think it needs to launch with the PS6. I think it could come out whenever, and it could still be placed as its own thing that taps into the current library and platform. So I think they could do that as, I don't want to say like a stopgap, but as a, hey, here's another hardware release we're doing. And then in a couple years, we'll then have the PS6, because the handheld would still be very exciting. I feel, for most people, I'd be excited for it. I think it'd be really fun to see what they have in store for that market. That they brought a lot to the table back then with the PSP and the Vita. And you know what? The PC gaming handheld scene, it needs some help with that end. The presentation side, it needs some help. These things are massive bricks that people are walking around with. We need Sony to come up and style up the place a bit. They're pretty good at that.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough to say where that would be too, because you have to think about how much onboard storage would it have, how much memory would it have. Those are like the crucial problem components right now.
Yeah. So I think with what we're seeing right now, so Nintendo has their system at 450. It probably will go up to like 500. I just think if Sony launches their PlayStation handheld, whatever they call it, and it's like that $500 to $600 range, but it actually looks like a $500 to $600 product, I think they could push it out there and be like, hey, here's what we have. This is the pricing, DRAM and whatever. But it'll play all of your PS4, PS5 games. I think people would be open to it. I think be like, okay, I'll pick that up.
I agree. If anything, that might be the only avenue to a product roadmap, is that the home console sees a delay, but this thing, reasonably speaking, probably could ship before. Whereas initially we had no idea exactly how they would like market and release both of these things. It sounded like it was going to be a very close thing of like PS6 and this handheld at the same time. But I think you remember we were talking about how you might not want to overwhelm customers with like, here's two $600 things like at the same time. You know, you kind of want that gradual, here's this thing, you want this, here's this thing, you're going to want this too. So that might be the path. If they were doing the home console first and the handheld second, maybe that gets reversed if like just the bill of material to build these things, maybe one is like looking a lot more attractive versus the other.
You know, be sick though, Ryan, is if they had the trailer for it in 2027 and it's a zoomed in shot of Intergalactic being played and then it zooms out and it's on the handheld.
That might be how you do it. That might be how you do it. That'd be a cool
pretty
reveal.
Sick.
Yeah, that'd be a sick reveal. Now let me propose this to you, John. Is it not a little bit scary though that the prices are going up, as we saw with this console right now? The shit is still selling. That these prices are going to get normalized, and that's the new normal, even when the bill of materials for these components goes down. And then all of a sudden, that's just a healthy profit margin for PlayStation or anybody else.
Right, I see what you're saying. Well, it's prices are going to go up no matter what because of everything that's happening with inflation and all this other stuff, parts behind the scenes. But you're mentioning the DRAM stuff. I'm thinking, Ryan, DRAM, and people are going to hate to hear this, but if things go according to plan, I should say, for a lot of these AI companies, I think we're going to be in this till like 2029.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's going to be unfortunate for people to hear, but I don't think this is going to be resolved anytime soon. It's going to be ongoing, and the normalization of these prices is just kind of a side effect of it, unfortunately. So you mentioned though, prices behind the scenes go back down. Would they keep it there? Would they work? Well, they would fluctuate price depending on how the demand is in the sales. If there is a breaking point for people somewhere with a PS6, so it's the PS5 popular now. Would $1,000 PS6 be as popular? Probably not. Yeah, that probably would happen. But would a $700 PS6 be as popular? Maybe in a few years. It could be the case, but eventually people go, you know what? I have to eat this month, so just not going to get that PS6. I'll stick with my PS5. The PS4 is still ongoing. People are still playing it. You know, it's still rolling.
Yeah, but they don't sell it
now.
They don't sell it. And let's not overestimate how often people are playing PS4. Those numbers are down where they should be. People are leaving that console.
I mean, it came out in 2013. It's been a bit. People still playing live service. Fortnite is still popular on that PS4.
I would think by the time we get the next business segment briefing, and if it's the same, if they're willing to give us the same info they gave us the last 2 years, because I believe it was the start of 2025 where it was like starting to favor PlayStation 5, and it's like, well, no shit, because we're 5 years into the console. Well, would have been a little over 4 years at that point. If we get one this year, I would think that not an overwhelming majority, but like definitely it's just creeped even more towards PS5. So it's not like you have 50 million people playing PS4s. You just don't. Like it is dwindling.
No, well, yeah, but there's still PS4 games coming out in 2027. They'll press a disc for it and put it on retail shelves.
But that's all they'll do.
It'll be releasing.
I think you should always allow submissions for as long as you can. I like that.
I'm saying the PS5 is going to last longer.
Yeah, it will.
It's going to, I'm going to say it now, and it sounds crazy. The PS5, that might be a 20-year life cycle.
20 years as in for what? Manufacturing, game submissions?
I think there will still be, I would not shock me if there is another 15 years of PS5 games releasing.
Oh, well, that's a minimum though, because PS4 is already like almost there.
It's at 13 years for the PS4. Yeah. Well, 12 years technically. But yeah, I think I would 2040 for the PS5.
2040.
Yeah, see, you put that in perspective, you're like, yeah.
No, but it's like, again, it's like, it's just game submissions. Will Sony allow a developer to submit a PS5 game in 2039? Like,
yeah, maybe.
The damn thing is, I mean, remember that one? When was this report? It was like a few months ago. Something where like there's key like development features to where when you're submitting a PS4 game, it's like after spring of this year now that you can't submit a PS4 game that has certain like just SDK features. So now a PS4 game rather can't do X, Y, and Z number of things. You remember this or no?
Yeah.
It's a game submission process. Like they'll at a certain point, Sony will just say, we don't want, no, you just can't submit a game anymore.
Right. The PS4 to PS5, that mechanical hard drive, that should be a really big deal for games. And it is in some regards. They're just games that won't work on that PS4 where they have to stream in assets. I don't know if it's going to be as big of a thing between a PS5 and a PS6 because it seems like Sony is really interested in this, like the AI upscaling and other things that they're developing right now. It'll be, I'm sure, much more CPU capable compared to the PS5, but will be enough to separate it significantly for people, especially in the mainstream. I don't know. Got to get creative.
That's why I think the UI is going to play a big role. Because
you think that UI is going to look really simple?
Probably. They do like simple. XMB is simple. PS4 UI is pretty simple. PS5
there's an option where you turn it on and there's like not much on the screen and you just talk to your controller and it'll do all the stuff for you and tell you, and you're like, I want to play this game, and it puts it all up for you.
No. Yeah, you'll get a UI. But like that's the thing. Like the onus is on Sony to make PS6 a compelling product in the face of what everyone is complaining about right now. It's on them. And look, it's not like we're talking about some new kid on the block here. They've been making PlayStation for 30 years. I'm still relatively convinced PS6 will probably be a pretty compelling box, even in the face of everything people are complaining about right now. That might extend to a DualSense 2.0, maybe a really cool UI enhancement, and then the various other just visual enhancements that, we don't need bigger and better things, but they'll look bigger and better on PS6.
Sure. It's just, I'm going to be really curious there's going to be something somewhere where it's a cutback for, I'm sure, what they wanted to do. And I'm just curious where that shows up on paper. Like people look at it and go, what's going on here? Why is the RAM less than it should be? That something like that. And Sony's like, we'll make it work. Kind of like with Valve, where they're doing their Steam machine and it has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. That's a whole conversation online around that. I'm wondering if there's something like that pops up on the spec sheet for the PS6 that's like, oh wow, okay, they're gonna try to figure this out.
Yeah, well, what's scary is whatever they go with, like that's locked in for that whole generation.
Right.
That's the benefit of consoles, is that the box is set. So that's why developers can always like squeeze a lot of juice out of them. If you go low, you're bottlenecking the entire fucking generation.
Yep.
So that's a concern item, if anything.
Just try to figure it out now and hope that the market corrects itself in 2030.
I don't know what you do. I mean, they make enough fucking money. They could probably just loss lead. They probably don't want to anymore, but they could.
Yeah, but like PlayStation
that is the console model.
Yeah, PlayStation's like Sony's profitable like wing now. Because they kind of rely on PlayStation, to bring in money. So that's tough. I mean, you figure they'd want to subsidize at least at first to try to get this thing out there to people. But if you subsidize and that price is still $700, that's crazy.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
Well, it'll be crazy that it's $700, and then during their fiscal reports, they will put that as a line item. Like, we lose money on hardware. They don't hide these things. They tell you we lose money on these machines.
Yeah, that's the only reason I want to see a PS6 reveal sooner rather than later. I just want to see what their strategy is and how they make this work. Otherwise, you know what? Honestly, Ryan, I'm kind of content with what we have right now. I feel that itch to be like, okay, what's next? What do they have for us? I want to see, but I'm okay with the PS5 Pro. In a way, I'm kind of doing that that meme where you're poking it with a stick? Like, come on, go
Do
PS5 Pro.
something.
Not do something, but like, come on. And look, I know the updates this year, and that's probably when we'll see more out of it for that. But there have been times where you get a game and it just performs worse on the Pro, and I'm like, man, come on, Pro, what are you doing?
Well, that's the worst part about the Pro.
I just got to keep a stick nearby the entertainment center just to poke it with the stick.
You got to keep a base console plugged in just in case.
Yeah, I do. I have one downstairs.
Oh, I literally have a Pro, and then underneath that's a Slim.
No, it's not like that in here, man.
Well, sometimes you just have to have that backup, I suppose. All right, let's get into some third-party news stories. What's going on in the third-party landscape? We touched on it a little bit. GTA 6. So this was a big thing going on with Jason Schreier. He was speaking on the Button Mash podcast. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier said a number of things about that November 19th release. He was asked if he feels confident that it's going to come out. The quote he gave is that he said the last he's heard about the game is that it's not content complete. So the staff are still finalizing levels and missions. But he did say, quote, I don't think anyone at Rockstar could tell you with 100% certainty that they will make it out in November. But I think it feels a little bit more real than fall of 2025 did. That was never real, and even more real than May 2026 did. Even then, I think there were people, at least that I spoke to, who were skeptical of that. And I think that people feel like this might be a little bit more solid. So to clarify, he's not saying the game, he thinks it's going to be delayed again. He's saying this feels like the most realistic date. But
Sure.
But it's still possible. Like, could it? Yeah.
If they delayed it again, would anyone be shocked? I mean, probably not.
No. But it seems like this might be it. Like, if this isn't it, the next date probably is.
Yeah, it has to come out because of my predictions that it's going to happen and that there's going to be a state of play and everything. Yep, that's all getting lined up. It's all happening. Right. Yeah, I mean, to me, they're still. I'm sure a lot of the people who are just working on the game are still also kind of guessing at the water cooler. You think this thing really going to come out? They're not in charge of the release date anyway. They're putting all the stuff together for the game, and they're getting directives and stuff on what to do. Whereas at the top, I'm sure Strauss Zelnick's like, this thing needs to come out in November. And so there's so much pressure on this game.
But they have the luxury to keep delaying it.
Every time you delay it, is it just me or do the expectations go up just a little more every time you delay it? Just a little bit more. It's like, okay, you get a little more time, but like I better be extra wowed when this thing drops.
I don't know, man. Like, I think after a certain amount of time, now it's just like you've already hit that ceiling. Now it's like, just make sure you don't fuck it up,
Yeah, they can't. But here's the thing: this game, how long has it been since GTA 5 came out? It's
2013 September.
It's been 12, more than 12 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 12. It's gonna be 12 and a half years. This GTA 6 might be their only GTA for like another 20 years or something at this rate. So especially GTA Online, because when they made GTA 5, they knew it was going to sell, but did anyone think it was going to sell like this? I guess it's insane how many copies sold. So then you attach GTA Online to that, and they made GTA Online as like, a separate mode, multiplayer and stuff. But I don't think they thought it was going to take off like that either. Like, it's made them so much money over the course of the last 12 or 13 years. So now here comes this new GTA 6 with a new online, we assume, right? It would only make sense. And they're going to design, I think, for it to last longer than GTA 5 did. So I think this is their 20-year game for them. So they got to get it right.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about GTA Online, is that it was like the framework for a live service game before we had live service.
Yeah.
So it's like it was already there, and it was also already such a big, well-known property to begin with. So to be a Fortnite before Fortnite is kind of you're set up pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's going to be a game that they'll port to several generations in the future, and we'll probably be on PS8 by the time we're talking about GTA 7.
That's okay.
Yeah. By then the Androids will have taken over, so it's okay.
I think in the time between GTA 5 and 6, I've replayed the PS2 GTAs like maybe 5 to 6 times. Just multiple times the 3 GTAs they put out in like a 6-year period. A 5-year period.
How different was life in 2013 before before the PS4 and the Xbox One.
I don't remember life back then.
Yeah.
It's all washed to me. We have some Xbox publisher news, which they're third party now. Developer Direct, January 2026.
Said that with a grin. I saw that.
They are. It's like still weird discussing Xbox news, fully knowing like this is just third party news now. So they have a Developer Direct on the 22nd. That's going to have updates on Fable, Forza Horizon 6, and Beast of Reincarnation. That is Game Freak's action RPG for those that don't remember, because that's coming to PS5 as well. Horizon 6, that's not going to be day one on PS5. FYI, they've already confirmed that. Fable is not confirmed for PS5 just yet. Can't imagine that's too far away, but that Developer Direct is coming soon. And I don't know if you spotted over on Recent Era, Shinobi 602 is hinting that there might be a fourth game at that event, which kind of makes sense to me. Only 3 games for a Developer Direct seems kind of low.
What do you think is going to be there? A big reveal.
I don't know. Do you have an idea?
I mean, I could throw one out there that I think will be fun, because I think people would be I think they'd be pretty excited for it. I think Toys for Bob being there with the new Spyro game would be kind of fun.
Oh, I would love that. I'd freak out. I'd freak the fuck out.
Because they do have the 3 logos, but it's, I mean, if you look at it, it's very clear there's room for another studio logo. Like one moves out of the way and it's this nice symmetrical box. So I think it'd be fun if they did where they moving around between them and they stop and like Toys for Bob logo appears and then the purple dragon flies through it. Something like that.
I've always been more partial to Spyro over Crash, so I would definitely be very excited for that for sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. And Rio Radic says Jez Gordon is hinting it's another Double Fine game. Which is interesting because Double Fine just dropped the Keeper. So man, they're rolling, I guess. I don't know if they do another Psychonauts game, or just something brand new. But I don't know. We'll see. Look, the Fable, I'm very curious. I already kind of have an idea. I think most people do, as to what Forza Horizon 6 is going to be, because it's what they're known for. Man, I'm so curious what they have with Fable for Playground to be making that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that's probably a good portion of this Direct too, no? Like
it's going to be the 2 of those,
Fable. Gameplay walkthrough of Fable.
I mean, I've had to pick between Fable and Forza. I assume Fable's coming out before Forza.
Think so?
I kind of feel like Forza might be a good September, October release for them. That's the thing with Microsoft. It's going to be an interesting holiday for them this year, because if GTA 6, they're going to still obviously be very aware of that. But I mean, Halo is probably coming out the anniversary of Xbox and Halo 1, being in November. So it's going to be right there at GTA 6. And then you have Gears of War E-Day. And then you have Forza Horizon 6 that has to all slot in. And Fable's got to be in there somewhere. So this is going to be a really packed year for them. And yeah, a lot of these games are going to be on PlayStation as well. With Halo, I assume Gears will be on PlayStation. Forza will come later.
I think it's more a matter of if, for at least a handful of the holdouts here, if they're day and date with PS5 or not.
Oh, and Call of Duty has to fit in there too.
It does, but I mean, gosh, how much of a backseat is that game going to take next to GTA 6?
It's going to get hit pretty hard, yeah. If it all lines up and there's a Halo and a GTA 6, Call of Duty is going to get hit from all angles. So this wasn't a good year for Call of Duty with this last holiday with Black Ops 7. I'm not expecting this to be another or a good year for Call of Duty again. I think they're doing Modern Warfare, and it's all right. So I don't think it's going to go that well for them.
Well, in other Xbox news, Avowed was.
I like that mindset. Halo PS5 bundle. Get some. Yo, what if they did a PlayStation 5 DualSense Halo controller? I might have to break the rule and buy that one.
I don't know if we're going into that territory where it's just full on just direct marketing and promotion.
Was there not a Halo Helldivers 2 crossover? Okay, we're seeing the collaborations here. All right, let's get serious. Let's get Halo and PlayStation. Let's get those. Let's bring those together.
Okay, all right. Well,
I like it. They can release plates for the PS5 Slim and not my PS5 Pro. Let's do that too. Let's do that.
You'll get nothing and be happy.
I'll have to like break the sides off of one of them, the one that doesn't work, and just like tape it on the Pro.
Just spray paint it.
Come
on, people have done that. The other thing that was confirmed like today is Avowed. So that's coming to PS5 February 17th. It's going to come out next to an anniversary update for the game. So you get to play as new races. There's a new game plus mode, new weapon type, photo mode, all that good stuff. Yeah, that game was rumored for PS5 for a bit. So they're ready to get that going. And then we had a report from Jez Corden himself over on Windows Central. It was like a big post about things going on in the Xbox world in 2026 this year. So the rumors coming out of that report is that Fallout 3 remaster, similar to Oblivion, that's on the way, and a New Vegas as well. Some people probably pretty pumped about that. They said developer Obsidian has 4 new projects. Some of those are big, some are small. He's unsure if any of these games are Fallout related, but just that 3 remaster, New Vegas, and also Fallout 5 greenlit as well.
Makes sense.
The show's doing well, and yeah, Oblivion seemed to work out great for him. Yeah, you do 3 in New Vegas.
You got to hit it. Like Fallout 3 will do some numbers. I know people really like New Vegas, but it's Fallout 3 was, for a lot of people, the first Fallout game they played. So that's a lot of nostalgia there. And if I think they mentioned doing the same treatment that Oblivion got, where they kind of they use Unreal and they kind of like overlay the visuals on it. So I think it'd be really cool. I do. That game with a nice graphical update would look, I think, incredible with the atmosphere and stuff they have for it. I think it would look awesome.
Oh yeah. And I constantly hear people just say how much they love New Vegas. So I think you get to that game pretty soon too.
Yep. I assume they're going to almost, I don't know, make them like side by side, but almost overlapping development on
that. We also had some word about Machine Games and what they might be working on. So this was in the same report from Jez, but he only like briefly mentions this. So that report comes out, and then Kotaku follows up with their own separate report saying that based on their sources, they can not confirm this, but say that they're hearing Wolfenstein 3 in development at Machine Games.
Sounds good. I'm here for it.
I'm good with it too.
What they're good at. They know what they're doing with that. So
been what, 6 years since Wolfenstein Youngblood, and then
they didn't know what they're doing with that one, but 2 was very good.
But it was 6 years from Youngblood, and then 2 was 2017, I think. So it's it's been a while. I'm ready for more Wolfenstein.
Yeah, hopefully that's not one that's years off. I'm hoping that's something that's ready in the next like 2 years or so.
Well, those games are like pretty, like they don't like waste your time either. They got like what, 10-hour campaigns. Like they're not. They're not bad. I'm good with that. But John, do you like Silent Hill? Because the producer, speaking with Famitsu, and this was translated by Genki_JPN on Twitter, the series producer, Motoi Akamoto, said the series is back on the map with Silent Hill 2 and F. And because of that, I want to get more out. Annualized.
Yeah, that's crazy. He said one, but here's the thing: I think they're doing a smart approach because it's annualized to where they have a bunch of studios working on these games, and then they release it every year. So it's not, hey, one studio's got a mat in this thing. He's got to change the roster up, okay, and slightly like touch up some of the helmets and the shine. No, you have to actually like have studios come in and spend 3-4 years development, but we have 4 or 5 studios looking at this thing. And then you also can do the spin-offs and smaller. It doesn't have to be everyone being a big brand new Silent Hill game. So I like this approach because it's kind of surprising. Silent Hill comes back after we've been yelling at Konami for how many years because they kept making pachinko machines and buying into NFTs and all this other stupid stuff. We're like, guys, just make games. They come back. They go, okay, we'll do a remake, Silent Hill 2. We'll do Metal Gear Solid. We'll try that, see what happens. And they work. It works.
Like you're just dragging their ass. Like, all right, I guess
it's kind of how it feels like with Konami. All of a sudden, they turn around. And they're like, oh, wow, this is actually working. Let's make more games. Yeah, good idea.
Well, they got like good studios to do it.
That too.
I mean, people were definitely nervous about Bloober, but it's like, oh, they did respect source material well. They were able to do that game justice. But even with the whole studio like shifting around, basically giving it a Call of Duty approach, I don't know. I hear this and I think, what a year. Can we not do that? Makes me
Really, you're not that interested in that. Well, it depends. If it's the same kind of game, then yeah. But if it's Silent Hill, however, they changed it up enough. Whether it's, I mean, one could be a choose your own adventure Telltale kind of thing. It doesn't have to be the same style of Silent Hill. They could do some weird stuff with it, I'm sure.
Sure. No, I see that. It's just, it does it not rub you off like just a little bit wrong in the sense that like, oh, okay, had two good ones, and the immediate sort of like public language you want to throw out there is like, we're already working to make sure you get one a year after this franchise has been gone for so long.
Well, I think the only thing with that is
there's a certain management style that like makes me uneasy.
The only thing with that is I would like to see them have the same kind of energy for some of their other franchises right now. What I'm thinking of is Castlevania.
Oh yeah.
Like I'd like to see them have the energy of, oh wow, we should do a Castlevania game every other year, because they could do a 3D or a 2D. They can move around with that franchise. I think most of us picture Silent Hill and immediately we have in our mind what the game should be. You know, like this slow horror third person style game now. So if they all start flowing together and looking exactly the same, then it will just be less exciting. So that's the massive change in terms of settings, like they did with Silent Hill F. That was a much different setting and kind of Silent Hill technically with the horror style they did. But I hope they get kind of creative with it. That's what I'm saying. So if you're going to annualize it, you definitely got to be creative. Don't turn it into Call of Duty.
Or it's like principally the same gameplay every year.
Well, actually, they would probably be pretty excited to turn into Call of Duty if they're selling that number. But what I'm saying is, like you're saying, don't have it so it flows together and it's exactly the same. I think it'd be better for Konami to take advantage of all their franchises. And 1 year is Metal Gear Solid, 1 year is Silent Hill, 1 year is Castlevania, and they just split it all up like that.
I love that a lot more because it's like straight up different properties.
Yeah,
that I like. I like that.
Just jump around with the different franchises and take your time and put them out that way. Although they probably want multiple releases in a year, but still, there's more than those 3 that I listed. They can, I'm sure, check the backlogs.
I just have very little faith in Konami.
They're getting some of their
as a publisher.
They're getting it back a little bit,
but they'll take it away from you as soon as they gave it to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Next up, we have the Persona 30th anniversary. Atlus launched an official website for the 30th anniversary. Going to be doing some big celebrations this year. They actually had a live stream today, I believe, which was 40 minutes of announcing merchandise. That is always going to come with the territory with any sort of anniversaries. A lot of publishers will want to sell you stuff, but you know, this should be the year potentially where we're going to hear more about Persona 4 Revival and maybe 6. Maybe.
They got to announce 6 eventually. My gosh, Persona 5 is a PS3 game.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is a PS3 game.
Can we get moving on this thing already? Man.
Yeah, it's getting a little long on the tooth. I mean, I also like, I've thoroughly enjoyed 5, but I think there's only so much 5 I can really take here.
Well, it's what, at the end of this year, it'll be 10 years since Persona 5 released. 2016, September 2016. So,
man, I forget how late that was on PS3, but it's the game launched in Japan first years earlier. So,
yeah, that's when it dropped. Yeah. 2016 in Japan, so it's been 10 years since the game by the end of this year. And I don't think Persona 6 is coming out in the next few months, so we'll probably get to that 10-year mark. And I'd like to think that they have Persona 6 ready to roll. Like, we gotta get moving on this thing.
Let's hope.
We're still waiting for Persona 4, I guess, the remaster to come out. So
yeah. All right, John, we have some Gen AI discussion going on. I know this has always been a really fun thing in the games business recently, but this was interesting. We had the game director at level 5 just outright support it. So Akihiro Hino has openly expressed support for Gen AI on their personal Twitter account. And they were saying that game companies are incorporating it for efficiency and time savings, trying to explain, kind of respond to the whole controversy, the Larian scenario, the Claire Obscura scenario. So they said that for themselves, for one unreleased game at level 5, because I guess this was like being misrepresented for them, they're not using AI to code 80 to 90% of the game. That's a misunderstanding, but they are saying that they are looking for a time savings, and that can't be dismissed. Like that, we shouldn't discount that. And then they propose a world where instead of 5 to 10 years for AAA games, they come out every 2 years, and that while AI can produce plagiarized content when misused, it still has the power to enrich the creative world. That is what that game director and CEO said, is that AI has the power to enrich the creative world.
Well, he said something very honest, and that a lot of studios are going to incorporate this stuff, or at least try it out, mess around with the generative AI and see what happens. And I feel like a lot of studios that people are thinking of right now probably have it in R&D right now. that's probably a thing. And I would say all three major platform holders, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft's very outward about it. They're definitely using it. Sony has their own generative or AI assistant internal, apparently. I'm sure they are working on it a lot. And Nintendo's never going to say it, or not say anytime soon, I'll say. They're working with it. I'm sure it's all the publishers. EA has mentioned they're going private and they're going to use AI to help cut down on budgets. It's going to become a consistent thing that we'll hear about. So people should stop being so surprised when they hear it and just being like, yeah, that's about right. So the thing that the issue I would see come up was kind of the absolutist take on like social media, where people go, if this has AI used to create it, I'm not going to play it. And the thing is, you're going to get caught a couple of times in that, because you'll play a game that is not advertised to have AI. 2 years later, there'll be an interview and be like, yeah, we used some generative AI to make that game. So I don't know. It's just it's gonna be tough, because it comes down to, when does it stop being a tool and when does it start being an employee? the AI. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. Because that, I get the tool aspect, because you could make the case of a calculator or something, or anything like that, right? But eventually, does the calculator take over and just start doing all the work of like 30 people, and then you have 10 people working on it, but the majority is made by machines? And what does that end up looking like then?
It's been such a fascinating past month, where like you have the Claire Obscure team at Sandfall that they said, oh, we tried it, we took the AI stuff out of the game when we initially launched it, we're not doing it again, all human work. You have Larian that disclosed, yes, we've looked into it, we're trying to find efficiencies, it would be irresponsible for us to not look into it a little bit. Then you have the game director at level 5 like just outright saying, we need this, it's great, time efficiencies, it's going to enrich the world. Like you see how it's kind of running the gamut there. And you're right, it's the absolutist approach of, I don't want anything in there, but like you're gonna play. They don't have to disclose it.
No,
they don't.
They don't. Steam does it, but even then, people are like, you can see developers, publishers are annoyed about it. Is this just going to be a common thing for all games almost now? And there's like 5% that don't use AI that won't have it. So maybe the tag should be didn't use AI, because that would just be used less common. It's going to be tough. And that's the thing. I think that people need to get to a position where it's like, okay, how do we like AI? How does it get regulated? How does it get dealt with? Rather than the absolute pushback on it constantly, because then by the time you're ready to deal with it, it'll be too late. And it's like, that's the issue running into now, is the AI stuff is evolving faster than policies can be made for it, regulated, anything. Everything's moving really fast with this.
What do you think about, because that's I think a key argument that proponents make in favor of it is the possible time efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating to see a game director explicitly call this out of like, do you want to wait, 7, 8, 10 years for a AAA game? Or do you want to see us get back to them coming out every 2 years? Which seems like such a, I mean, I'm not saying that's like a distinct possibility in the short term, but obviously AI is evolving so rapidly that maybe efficiencies will finally be discovered. Like that's what was so fascinating about like the Larian controversy, is that transcript that Jason Schreier put out, just to give people full context on their conversation about Divinity and what they're doing with AI behind the scenes, is that We're trying to find efficiencies. We haven't found them yet. Like, it's still a
Right.
lot of prompting and babysitting, and so it's like we're still in that infancy of people are experimenting. They haven't found the time savings yet. The proposal here is if we do find those efficiencies, whether it's a slippery slope of replacing human work or not, when we find those efficiencies, you might see a lot of people in the enthusiast space be quite pleased to know that a game is coming out much sooner than it otherwise would have. The thing is, maybe it's a bit exaggerated here. I heard this though, and I read it. I'm like, I'm not sure I want a game every 2 years now. Like we had that like during the PS2 days, but
Right.
with how often things come out, I'm actually kind of okay with games still taking 4-ish years.
Sure.
Maybe not 7 or 10.
Not an entire generation.
Not an entire generation, but I actually am not so thrilled at the prospect of like, oh, geez, this shit comes out because now there's just too many games that come out. There's the volume of games that come out nowadays is so much higher than it ever was.
Yeah, and it would make the market very, very difficult to sustain all the studios that are just dumping games into it every couple of years, as you mentioned. So we have the most options available to us ever before, but then also now think about that 5 years in the future where you would double that,
Yeah.
because of this. I think though with the AI thing is we keep hearing, you mentioned the benefits of time saving. These things keep getting mentioned and floated to us, and we're not really seeing it like in every day-to-day life for people in the real world. I think if with how much AI is starting to annoy people because it is having tangible effects on price, we're seeing that price is going up for like everything. We talk about the gaming aspect, energy being a big thing, right? That's one part to it, but it's just AI. All the AI development is making lives of people expensive. So eventually, this AI development has to turn into something that is impactful in real life. And maybe then it'll be like, okay, I see why this is all happening. So like a new scientific discovery, a cure for a major disease or something, just something that AI does that feels like it's worth a lot of the stuff that's happening right now. And I know we're talking about time saver for games, and that could legitimately be it. It's like, oh, wow, these games can be made faster, more efficiently. They can be bug checked so we get better quality games when they come out, because you can have a million instances of AI running and it'll find all the issues that we end up finding after the game comes out, and then it gets patched when there's bug fixes from customers, really, who find them. If that ends up happening, great. We start to see results from a lot of this. But right now, man, we're in this weird in-between period where it seems like a lot of regular people are the ones doing a lot of the giving right now, hoping that eventually AI does something.
Yeah. It's tough to say, dude. I don't think I want games that often.
I understand that. I hear that.
Yeah.
I do. The thing though with the development side with AI being incorporated right now, it's not really, AI is still very generalized, and it's not really something that's, oh, this will absolutely, you can plug and play into the gaming space. It's definitely set up more for like office stuff, gathering information, creating spreadsheets and PowerPoints. And I know Microsoft and NVIDIA have talked about they're working on the idea of being able to even just recreate and emulate games through training. Or NVIDIA did recently one where they have this agent that has learned enough about how to play games to be able to play a brand new game you put in front of it like a normal person would. So I think as the training goes along, maybe we start to hear about this time savers, but I just don't think it's there yet. It's as you mentioned, babysitting, prompting, helping it along. And basically that's just never ending training. Like, when you bring someone new in, it's going to cost money to train them. As a business owner, you're running a business, managing, that person who is training them is going to be slowed down. They have to spend a couple of days with the trainee, maybe a week, and then they can move away from them and go back to doing their job at a more, rapid pace. It just kind of seems like the AI trainee is constant right now.
Yeah. I would almost imagine in some cases it's slower.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not, yeah.
I mean, when it hits and you're like, hey, find this stuff, and it finds it and it sources everything, it's like, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty quick. But then you ask it to do some basic thing and it just goes dumb. It doesn't know what to do. Or it like tries to convince you that it's giving you the right answer, and it's not. you know it, because it might be something you absolutely are like really well versed on. And it just tries to convince you it's giving you the right answer. It's like, no, you're not. And then you explain it back to it, and it's like, you're right. It's like, what?
You just trained it. Yeah. You just fucking, you helped it.
It's so funny when that happens. Like, what in the world?
Yeah.
I'm glad DRAM is so hard to get now. Thank you.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, it's the same take I always have. I just don't want it to replace the creative aspect of our medium.
Just be nice to the robots.
Hey, I kiss my PS3 every night before bed.
Just be nice to the robots. Go replay Detroit Become Human. Okay.
Blend in with the humans. I love that meme. It's not quite a separate story, but like we had also like the Microsoft CEO. Remember that comment he just made recently? Like,
oh yeah, the don't call it slop. Yeah, it's like, dude, again. then
we really need you saying that.
Make it do something useful. Then how about that? Do that.
Well, it's like nobody wants to hear your pompous attitude towards us. You're gonna fucking lay off another 10,000 people for AI. Come on.
Yeah, let's have it do something that is seriously impactful. So like if it really honestly, if AI starts like all of a sudden firing off all these crazy discoveries and like starts curing like terminal diseases, I'd be like, well, you know what? Man, okay, maybe it's got something here. All right. Listen, but until then,
if we can just if we automate like damn near most jobs, and that means we have to have universal basic income and most of us can stop working, that's when I'll be like, all right, I'm kind of okay with this robot doing my laundry.
Okay.
Come in. Okay. Welcome to my residence.
Saw the predicted timeline for that, by the way, which changes all the time. Do you know the predicted timeline for the major shift in like the economy towards that is?
For like what? For UBI?
I had to double take it. This is like, really? It's like that soon? And
wait, well, hold on, John. When can I retire?
Well, no, it's not like, okay, so the idea behind it is there's a utopia on the other side.
Okay.
But man, to get there, it's going to be...
Wait, am I going to live to see this? How soon is this?
There's like an in-between. I think a year was starting around was like 2032 or something.
32?
2032, yeah. So, but here, think about the change that would have to happen to get to that utopia you're like real excited about.
Well, I'm joking, but...
Retirement. Well, I mean, the thing that's floated is you want it to work. You'll have AI do everything for you, basically, robots, and then you can pursue whatever you want. That's kind of the idea.
That's the meta commentary, is that like we work to just sustain ourselves. If we have something that does that for us, then you could in theory have a recreational life.
Yeah, so you could go do whatever you want. You can travel, you can art, play video games, whatever, right? That's great. But there is on the path there, if you think about it, everyone has jobs now, but no one has jobs then. So what happens in between?
Yeah. In between, there's just mass hysteria and tragic loss and job law. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember what's K say in Men in Black when he's trying to explain to Jay as to why they don't tell people that aliens are there. And he says,
I don't remember this at all.
No, he says a person is smart, but a population is dumb because there's so many people and like hysteria breaks it, right? So you can explain it to one person, but if you explain it to everyone, it doesn't go over as well.
I thought you were going to say if you want to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs.
No. But that is a fair point. It's like, yeah, you can sit down and explain to one person, but if you just throw it out there in the void and there's 1 million plus people who have to deal with it, it turns into chaos.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is going to be chaos. It is. I just hope that on the other side of it, John, you and me are still doing Click R3.
Hey, we will be, and we'll have we'll have the ancient artifacts called PS3 games, PS2 games on our shelves.
Well, the AI is not doing revisionist history. That didn't go anywhere.
Oh, they're going to solve the issue of physical games. They're going to get rid of them. Yep, they're going to make it so you don't need disk drives anymore, and all the information's beamed right to your system.
John, there's no issue. There's no issue.
Oh, you don't even want to know what the rabbit hole where they're going down for what your phones will be like, and oh man, people, it's gonna get weird, man.
Hey man, as long as the stuff on my shelf stays on my shelf, I'm okay.
Well, that's the thing, is the idea is the OS on your console or your phone or your PC won't exist on the hardware. It gets streamed to it in real time, and the AI reconstructs it right in front of you.
Yeah, but as long as the existing stuff behind me stays, that needs to stay.
Oh, disk route will take care of that.
Okay, I'm not going to outlive disk route, John. Don't spread that misinformation. Shit's going to die. It takes like over 100 years for that shit to happen. I've even got humidity readers over there, so I know for a fact it's going to go 100 years. Yeah. Dude, it's the relative humidity. There's been like actual scientific studies done. It's relative humidity.
I like it. Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. You want to do the last super chat and we'll get to a PSX go and give it to you?
That is from Toasty Tiles. Tyler says, how would you feel about a first-person God of War game that plays like a melee version of Doom Eternal / Dark Ages? I think it sounds cool. My boyfriend said I'm smoking crack.
So you know what I thought of right away? GDC 2014, it was the PSVR announcement, the first time PlayStation VR was ever revealed to the public. Mm-hmm. And that was a technical demonstration, which was, I think they used God of War 3, not Ascension. They used God of War 3, Santa Monica, and they made a VR version. And it was first person. So you were first person Kratos. And there's like not great footage, but you can see as Shuhei Yoshida's presenting it at GDC, you can see like him, shooting out like the blades of chaos and everything. So Toasty Tiley, there is a build of that game out there somewhere that is pretty much that. I'd love to experience it someday, but I don't think we ever will.
First person God of War game. That would definitely be different. I wonder how the PlayStation user base would react to that, because the PlayStation user base definitely likes the third person over the shoulder. I wonder what the first person would do to them.
It might be like a sort of, 2018 gameplay shift. Like, whoa, this ain't the God of War I know.
So like Metroid Prime.
Yeah, but then you play it. It's like, whoa, hold on. Daddy's cooking. You don't know.
It's interesting you mentioned this, because they did go from a different kind of perspective where they're much more zoomed out to behind the shoulder to now in Kratos. First person. Yeah. They keep moving the camera in.
And he'll be like so old now. So like I want to hear him constantly grunt and moan about every little thing that he does, because it's me.
You so hear his knees cracking all the time walking around.
I was just gonna say his knees cracking.
You know what, Toasty Tiley, I'm with you on this one. Let's get that first person God of War game going.
You know how every time if you get like in and out of a car, or if you like sit down or like stand up, you got shit. Oh, God.
You'd have that entire camera motion and stuff getting up and yep. The DualSense 2.0 could kick in. They could have some craziness with that. Feel the arthritis.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right. Well, if we're good, I think I'm going to get to some PSX. Go and give it to you.
All right. What we got?
This is the topic of the show where we go over something cool, old, nostalgic, niche, different, something weird about PlayStation history that the kiddos don't know or don't remember. This one, I know. Well, I mean, I always try and give it a little bit of flavor. I really want to get a soundboard where I say PS and then X go and give it to you.
I think we could skate under copyright laws with it. I think we could do it.
Hey, the last time I said that, you said we can't do that. But I
feel like we can make it happen though if we speed it up. We just gotta look it up. I think it's like 3 seconds.
Dude, he spits out X go and give it to you in like a second, I think.
Okay.
Maybe two. Maybe two.
I think we could do it.
The point, however, this one was recently reignited from, I have to shout out one of my Patreon supporters. I think it was Martin or Marvin. Oh my God, he's going to be so mad if I forget his name. But it was a cool question, and it reminded me of this. 2005 PSP comes out, right? PlayStation Portable. A photo goes viral online. Do you remember this, John? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You've probably seen it. You've probably seen it.
Okay. What is it?
It's Jessica Chobot licking a PSP.
Okay, I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a classic. I mean, 2005. This is super early internet, and you got to look it up, John. It is the classic. You know, it actually took me years later to find out that picture sort of like launched her video game career.
Really?
Yeah, because after that, she like was well known. Then I think got into IGN, did the IGN strategize. She was the video girl. You know, Chobot was like an OG IGN sort of presenter and worked at the company for a long time. Now she like went into TV and film, and I think she's doing a lot of podcasts and stuff now. But like that was just like such a quintessential early 2000s image of a very attractive woman licking a PSP. And, you know, it's just like the sort of bait that everyone fell for because it's like, oh man, look at her. She looks
That
so
is literally
attractive.
the first thing in her early career on Wikipedia is that she licked the PSP.
It's like just good publicity because PSP was a hot, sexy device at the time, you know. So, like day one, the system comes out and she just has this picture where she's like really going to town on that PSP, you know. And I think I did too. I can't remember exactly. I might have licked it once or twice. I don't know, but
the PSP.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I think so.
But like that's a classic. I feel like people either have seen the image, but they don't remember it that well, or they don't remember the story of it, the context of it. That was like before her video game career. So she licked the PSP, then went to IGN and did everything that she did after that.
Yeah. I mean, it says like Attack of the Show. She's on there at one point from it. Yeah, that's the first thing, like I said, in her career, early career, is that she licked a PSP and then went to IGN.
And then eventually licked a PS Vita. She did redo it, which was cool.
Oh yeah, there's the image for that too. It was right next to it.
Yep. The PSP one's like just iconic. That is such an early 2000s like internet meme thing that went very viral. And every time I bring it up to somebody where I know they're just like the same age as me or older, they know it. They know it. They remember it. I think it was published in the magazines too at the time. It was like that was a thing. Everyone saw that picture.
Show the photo. These are all like little. They're tiny too. They're all like tiny resolutions, right? I'm looking. They're all like some low resolution. I mean, I could just blow it up from there.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, it's like off to the side. Save it. There we go.
Yeah, it doesn't want to show a web page.
It's on it's such an old like web page. You know, when you click the photo and usually you put it in the center of the screen, it puts it on like the top left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how old this.
Oh, okay.
It's blogger Google user content from Startainment. January 19th, 2010 is what it's. I think this is a retrospective of. That's how old it is. Oh, they gave me another source. Hold on. Where's this taking me?
Oh, good Lord. Just show the picture, John.
2minutenews.com. It's a part domain now.
What are we doing here?
All right.
I give the audience what they want.
I got a good picture, I think. At least. Okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm on it. Let's see. Share screen.
This guy.
Oh, you think share image.
You think you're asking him to crack into the Pentagon.
Let's see. There we go. Aha! Got it.
There's Jessica Chobot.
That's the image.
That's it. Yeah.
I had to save that to my computer for this.
Oh, come on. John, if anything, you were just searching for it on your hard drive. Come on.
It's a 400 by 200 resolution. Actually, the Streamlabs did an all right job cleaning that up. Sorry, like blew that image up. Because I did the thing where I upload the image to StreamYard for it. Actually did all right with that. Oh. That's the image.
I think a lot of people, if you never saw it, then there you go. But like, this is like I think a memory people forgot about and lost, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Okay. Okay. All right. That's enough, guys. Settle down.
This was like it's funny. This shot does remind me of like that G4 Attack of the Show time period.
Yeah.
You know, man, what a time.
Well, it was like it was her, Olivia Munn. You know,
Yeah,
they were like icons in the game space.
Different era, different times.
Different time.
It's like 20 years ago. It's a long time.
It is. And that's why it was in PSX. Go and give it to you. We gotta get the soundbite.
Okay.
I'll get the soundbite.
It's fine. You get the soundbite. Yeah. You can probably do like a virtual soundboard thing, right? Where you just click it and it does it.
Yeah, I'll do like a little, just straight up the very small, like just 2 seconds.
It'd be funny if you put it on your phone and you had to hold your phone up to the microphone to do it. So it sounds
I could
like
do that.
Old, terrible like radio quality.
Wait, but it might actually sound good though. It might sound fine. You just need to like, it just needs to be like legible.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't want it to be too clean. I want it to sound like kind of crappy, sort of when you play it. So it's like going through static, kind of.
Okay, yeah. Well, that too, that'll work.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We'll do that. So, is that everything we got tonight, Ryan?
That's it. You know, it's still a little slow, right? We're in January, so game news will ramp up in the coming weeks.
What games did you end up playing over your break?
Oh, thank you for asking, John. So start at Luminous Arise. Amazing. I love in PSVR 2. Amazing. Loved playing it in PSVR 2. To see that game in virtual reality after like loving it for 20 something years on PSP, which we were just talking about, was incredible. And then I also am working on Once Upon a Katamari. So I'm a little bit slow. I haven't quite gotten to a third game just yet, but like Katamari is definitely short, so I'll probably be wrapping that up in like a day or two. And Luminous, I almost finished the platinum. So platinum will be done, then Katamari.
What's going on with Rebirth?
Rebirth I'm getting there, John. I'm getting there. My strategy was I'm going to do 2 short games, so I feel like I got something done. Luminous was not like, I did maybe 15 hours and I already saw like everything basically. Now I'm just doing the challenges to finish
Dispatch,
the platinum. I mean, yeah, Dispatch is shorter too, but like Katamari is going to be like 10ish hours, if that. So like I'll be done with that soon too. Then after that, I'm not sure where I'll start. Well, yeah, it's definitely easy. The only hard Katamari Platinum, I think, is the original on PS4, because that's the only one that wants you to collect everything. That can definitely be annoying. No, wait, Katamari Forever also is a pain, because then you have to collect more. But Once Upon a Katamari, We Love Katamari, those 2 are pretty simple.
Okay, good stuff. All right. Well, I guess that's everything we got, right? Oh, I've played all kinds of random stuff. It's funny I brought up Detroit Become Human because Sean mentioned he was going to play it for the first time. I was like, I kind of want to see how that game looks again. That was just like today. So I re-downloaded it. Maybe I'll check it out again. I didn't do all the endings in that game, but it was I like the story in it. I thought was really good. But I actually played a lot of Arc Raiders too.
Okay.
Which is interesting. I didn't think I'd really get that into the game. And I thought about it because it's an extraction shooter. And I said, you know what? Marathon's coming up. I am going to get Marathon. I've actually already talked to some people who are going to get it too. So I think we're going to make the move on it. Just try it out. See what we're dealing with here, of course. And I can talk about it on the show here too for some experience. But Arc Raiders has actually been pretty good. And you go in, you die, you lose everything. So that is a reality. But then when you do extract with everything, it's actually pretty fun. So I've been going through, and it is the only thing I don't like about it is there's a lot of item management, and it feels like it was designed for PC first and then they moved it to console, because it's not fun navigating around with a controller to try to recycle everything, build things. It's a lot of moving a box around a grid that is so much easier if you just had a mouse to move.
Right.
So that's the only one we're like, And then I'm about 30 hours into Trails.
Oh, okay. You're playing that too.
So I'm working through that one. That'll happen. So we'll see. I've been trying to work through it for a little while, and I'm still taking my time with it. But now they have the second one that's coming out at the end of this year, the remake. So they're rolling right through it. So I have to get this one done before that. It's kind of like how you're rolling through Rebirth. Same thing for me with that. So,
all right,
few things. So
very good.
But thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. It was a fun episode. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Continue on with 2026. Hopefully some big things this year. I'm optimistic about this year, despite all the stuff, Ryan. I think I think very least we should have some software games coming out. The hardware thing we'll see, but for games, I think it's going to be a lot of fun this year. I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff hidden. So
I like the optimism. I like it.
All right, good stuff. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.